we're about to enter, what it holds for us when it comes to football. But it's great to be here, I tell you.
It's great to be here. That is according to Victor Oria here. I also do have Priya Izogo here with us today. Priya, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dorcas. Good afternoon, beautiful city of Port Harcourt. It's always great to talk sports and football, especially from the old continent of Europe.
Old continent for okay, that sounded so funny. We also do have someone who just walked into the studio. I didn't expect to see him here today. It is Timmy. I want to call you Priya now. Timmy Harrison. Timmy, welcome to the show. It's been a while.
Because you didn't call this title well. He's the MVP.
For you people, because okay, the MVP. Let me just say for you people, all of us, the MVP himself, Timmy Harrison. Welcome to today's Sports Live.
But people, not good afternoon. People in the studio, no good afternoon, but good afternoon. It's good to be around. Yes, so I actually missed a couple of weeks.
I wanted it to come since when you know that time, Nabi, but you did not come.
Everybody wanted me to talk about Wild and Joshua.
Did I say that was what I was going to talk about? Me, I don't know what you're saying.
but it's good to be back. It's good to be. I actually miss her, and I actually miss her. But it's actually good to be. So once again, good afternoon, Port Harcourt.
Okay, let's continue with the show. The show is packaged to be interactive, so we encourage you to be part of it by hitting us on any of our interactive platforms.
We're still on the show.
For a bit. For SMS and WhatsApp, the line, the Sherry line, that is 0701 933 9962. That is 0701 933 9962. I hope you got that. For Twitter, you can tweet at us at TodayFM951, at TodayFM951, or you can tweet at me at SportsDiva4, or you can either tweet at Victor Oriahi. He is at Victor Oriahi on Twitter, and Priya is at Priya PZ. The PZ is PIZZI. That is it. The phone lines will be open in due time for you to air your opinions live on the show.
Hello, my name is Kanwanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
It sounded as if he was reciting something over there. That's kind of, he sounded as was, Okay, but guys, you have to tell me what made the headlines for you in the outgoing week. The week is already going, and I know there are lots of events that happened during the week. So what made the headlines for you, Victor?
First of all, Liverpool. We thought they could just be ending the season as invincibles, and they were schooled by Watford. 3-0 it ended, and Ismail Assar, a player that how do I put it? A player that you wouldn't expect. Well, even a team that you wouldn't expect to defeat the high-flying Liverpool. They eventually did end their unbeaten run. Quite surprising for me. And then also seeing them get knocked out again in the FA Cup by Chelsea. Brilliant performance from Billy Gilmore, as well as Ojon Igalo getting 2 goals for
Manchester United.
And in the EFL Cup, Manchester City won the first silverware in England. Good one for Pep Guardiola. Yeah, I think that was it for me.
All right, Priya, you?
First of all, I think I always want to mention this. Odion Jodigalo, he actually made my week. He made it. I wanted him to get an hat-trick in that game, but he didn't come. But he did brilliantly well as a box striker, which we know him for, and that was epic. And we think he's going to do more. Then after that, Liverpool, we're finally seeing the loopholes in that team.
Okay.
That they're still a work in progress, not a perfect bunch. You can still see little areas that they really need to work on for the Liverpool team. Nobody thought of that, but the Watford team exposed those loopholes, and teams are now taking advantage of those spaces.
Okay.
I think that's the Liverpool angle. The Chelsea, brilliant game. I think if Frank Lampard has lost that game, he would have been under intense pressure by the management, the owners of the club. So he actually need to win that Liverpool game. So a big FA Cup week, and also EFL Cup, where Man City actually triumphed. I felt it would be a heavy victory for Liverpool, for Manchester City, but it didn't turn out that way.
Okay.
We saw a very, very strong and resilient Aston Villa team. They gave them a run for their money. So I would say the week was quite good for football, basically.
To me, over to you. What made the headlines for you?
Odion Zu de Gallo. Let me talk like a biased someone. Odion Zu de Gallo. Now, why Gallo really made my week for me is like Gallo was signed surprisingly deadline day, January transfer window, and people called and people like, what kind of sign on it? And I stood here and I said, let's take the fact that we're Nigerians off this whole matter. That this particular Manchester United side do not have a goal scorer better than Odion Jude Igalo. He's 30. He's been there. He's shown in every single club he's played besides Udinese. And Udinese, you can argue for him then. He was super young then when he went to. And the Italian league is really, really technical. But he's started 2 matches for Man U. He scored 3 goals. Games per goal ratio, he's top there. And I wasn't surprised. Some of the doubters, Rio Ferdinand has come out to like take back the things he said about him.
Yeah, he retracted
People
it.
are coming out to retract their statement.
Well, look at
and
words.
there's even gist now that they might make it a permanent move. He's impressed that much. And he gives something to his particular Manchester United team side. Then I'll slowly say it. No other player in this particular Man U setup has what he's got. Because he doesn't just want you to play the ball ahead of him. He plays with the back against the goal. His hold-up play is top-notch. No Manchester United forward line player can do what he can do. And see the eulogies that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been putting on him. Talks are on as we speak now. They're looking to the dynamics of making him stay further. Remember when he was signed, it was just clearly spelled. It's just a 6-month deal, nothing more. But he's impressed just over how many games? 5-6 games for them to start to talk about it. Imagine when he plays, he gets to start in the Premiership and gets to score 1-2 more goals. Trust me, he's not just going to get a year contract. He's going to get at least 2-year contract. So for Odion Igalo was actually my outright star for the week. Kudos to him.
Okay, that's just what made your week for you. Let's stay a little bit on Odion Igalo before we move on to other matters. Some factors are saying, some sides are saying that they haven't seen what he has done until in the big games, like the game against Manchester United tomorrow, the Manchester Derby, Man City rather tomorrow. People are saying until he can score against big teams, they can rate him. Do you think that's the case for Odion Igalo?
People that don't know football say those things, or people that are biased, people that carry too much rotten egg in their stomach actually say things like that. The boy knows how to score. He scored when he was in Watford. He played against the big boys when he was in Watford. He scored the highest goal scorer in Champions League. And the African Cup of Nations. He's been there before. He scored when he was in Spain. He scored virtually. He was the second top scorer when his team was relegated in the Chinese Superliga. You understand? So he knows his way around the goals. Now, in this Manchester United team, with a certain Bruno Fernandes behind him, he's going to score goals because they will create chances for him. If you play Martial on the left and play James on the right, on the left, and play Martial on the right, chances will be created. You have Fred that will run all day for you. You have Bruno Fernandes that can set the passes for you. Odion Igalo will score. Let's not make this argument that against the big boys. He scored against the big boys when playing for Watford. So why can't he score against the big boys when he's playing for a better team with better players? That's not an argument. He would score.
So you're insisting right now that we haven't seen nothing yet?
Nothing.
From Odion Igalo?
Absolutely nothing. And as a Chelsea fan, for me to give so much kudos to him. And remember I said, I'm not saying this because I'm a Nigerian. I'm saying it because he knows how to score. And if there's one thing that goes for Igalo, is like, he believes in himself. That's something Iheanacho has to have. He believes in himself. He believes he can always score. And he's delivered every single team he's played in Europe. He believes in himself. There's this self-aura he has about himself. He would score. I'm not saying if he would score. Guaranteed.
All right, since we are already talking about cups, we just spoke about the FA Cup where Odion Igalo scored. So let's look at the League Cup where West Ham manager David Moyes has proposed a British Cup following calls from UEFA President Alexander Ceferin to scrap the League Cup, that is the Carabao Cup. Ceferin told the Times on Thursday that it would be better for everyone if England's secondary knockout competition was taken off the fixture schedule to lighten the load of top players. Ceferin's call came as FIFA prepares to launch an additional tournament in the summer of 2021, a 24-team Club World Cup, and as its own organization is understood to be in talks to endorse an expanded version of the pre-season International Champions Cup. The League Cup came into existence in 1960, but in recent years has tended to be seen as a competition where teams can try out young or fringe players. Moyes prefers the idea of a revamped rather than scrapping it entirely, and likes the idea of teams from other countries taking part. Quoting him, he said, "It's in need of some ways of being revamped. Call it the British Cup. A couple of teams from Northern Ireland, maybe two of the Welsh league clubs. That could give us something different." Meanwhile, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp has called the League Cup important while stressing we have to work on a solution. In December, Liverpool fielded what was at that point the youngest starting 11 in their history, overseen by then under-23s coach Neil Critchley. He's no longer the under-3 coach. Recently, I think he went to Aston Villa or somewhere. Yeah, he went somewhere. As they lost 5-0 to Aston Villa in the League Cup quarterfinals, while Klopp and his first team players prepared for a Club World Cup match in Qatar the next day. On Friday, Klopp said, "I think we can do a lot of different stuff. Fewer games are already possible with little adaptation. So far, what I am happy about is people are really talking. We have to talk about it. The season is intense." Like I said, we are still with Cup. Now, the Carabao Cup. Should the League Cup be scrapped or revamped, Victor? Which side are you on? Should it be scrapped or should it be revamped?
Well, if you look at it critically, I agree. I go with David Moyes. I do not think it should be scrapped. I think revamping it would be better. He made mention of something very important. He said the big teams can choose to opt out, to not participate in the League Cup. That's what should happen. I think England likes to be different. That's one thing, and we know that other climes they have their FA Cup. Well, even in France as well, I think they have
the same thing, the same model.
That is I forgot to bring that up. That's the angle is coming from. This season will be the last time France plays the Cup League, their League Cup. Yeah, that's the last year because they want to stop that particular tournament, and that's why Stephanie came out to say since France is stopping it this season, next season we wouldn't be seeing that the League Cup, that is the Carabao Cup, should be scrapped. That's what he's trying to say, to accommodate, other things around the world from FIFA and also from UEFA.
I said England likes to be special. They like their things to be completely different from the rest of Europe, and I think the League Cup would not be scrapped. If anything should be happen, it should be adjusted. It should be revamped, just like David Moyes stated. But I do not buy into the idea of making it a British Cup, where you now have teams from Scotland, from Ireland. I think it just puts too much glamour on a trophy that isn't so significant, if I may say that. Now bringing other countries to be a part of it, although they're all under the United Kingdom, it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that's just going to be making it more glamorous than it ought to be. Let it just be the normal way. But if there's anything I go for, is the fact that let teams who do not want to participate, so as to avoid fixture congestion, let them not participate. We saw it at the point in time in the Carabao Cup, where Liverpool had to field their under-23 side because the big boys were going to play in the FIFA World Cup.
Shouldn't that be the case? If you're saying the big boys shouldn't play, shouldn't it be that instead of you to field your big boys, why not bring in your feeders to come play?
It's the decision of the team. If whatever you want to do, if you want to opt out,
I'm going by a decision. By what you said.
Liverpool could actually have chosen to not play that game and just let Aston Villa progress to the next round of the competition.
Yeah, they'll be fine actually.
Yeah,
they'll be fine and suspended.
They could still take it. They could still take it. So I think eventually it has to go with decision. Whatever the team wants, but then I do not think the Carabao Cup or the League Cup should be scrapped. I think just a revamp,
a little bit of tweak here and there,
would be quite better for the sport and for the sport.
What kind
of
tweak are we looking at? We're not even saying what it is. FIFA wants to introduce their own tournament, an extended tournament. So now they're saying too much football, they're adding two more football.
And they're also talking about Champions League will be expanded as well.
Expanded club, precisely now you have expanded tournaments, you have Champions League expanded, you have
Club World Cup as well.
So basically, they want to expand and make more money, and they want to force other leagues. Tell me, France shutting up the Cup to League has nothing. And I'll say it again, have absolutely nothing to do with England. It gives clubs like Wolverhampton, Wolves out of the picture now. It gives the smaller teams, Sheffield Wednesday,
the Championship clubs, the League One clubs,
revenue. If you manage to get the game to your home, Man U comes, you fill your stadium. It gives you revenue. It gives your player an opportunity to play against the big boys, so that he sells himself. You understand? Billy Gilmore there is no way without injuries that Lampard will throw him into the limelight. There are players that shone in this tournament. Now, the part they say British Cup, it's laughable. Now the winners get to play in Europa League. So if a team from Wales who gets to win it, are you going to represent England? How do they do it? That side is completely out of the picture. Bottom line is that FIFA and UEFA are being selfish. They want to introduce the tournament. You put all these rhetorics around to cajole, to force England. I think absolutely there's nothing wrong with it. You have a squad of 25 players automatically. Then the home goal boys can be added. Now you have let me use Chelsea for example. You have the small Ghanaian boy that played against Arsenal. The first leg that Chelsea won to. His name will come to my head. He's gone out on loan. Tammy Abraham before now. These are the tournaments they get to play and play against the big boys. England were not particularly doing well in FIFA age grade football until recently. You understand? Spain and co, they do well because the Segunda Liga, you have Barca B, you have the Real Madrid side, the Castilla.
That's the feeder sides of each club.
Mutia Depoju and co played in. You understand? They play in the second division, so they play competition regularly. What Chelsea think the under 23s do is just organize miniature football under 23.
They have the Premier League on the
basically what they do is like a player comes back from Loftus-Cheek comes back, he goes to play with the under 3. You play in a stadium where you have 16, 17 persons. Not even a stadium. Chelsea ground. You're like placed somewhere. So you don't get to be tested. That's why England was not doing well in FIFA age grade competition. But you give Billy Gilmore, you give other names, C. Williams, the boy for Messi Williams, I think the Man U left back. That's given one of the reasons why they allowed Ashley Young to leave. You understand? Because these games give them exposure. Except they want to do the Spanish model, where you know that Man U to under 23s automatically plays in the Champions League. In the Championship. Or if they get demoted, then you go to the League One. If you don't do that way, then it doesn't make sense for an 8-year-old boy to stay. If I take Loftus-Cheek now, he's been there since he's 8. Hudson-Odoi has been there since he's 9. Abraham has been there since he's 8. You bring from 8, you get to 20. That means we spent 12, 14 years of your life doing schoolboy football. You're not playing professionally. It doesn't give them chance to grow.
So which side are you on? Scrapping or revamping?
There's nothing to touch about it. Nothing. It gives the smaller teams chance to make revenue. It gives the smaller teams chance for their players to play against the bigger boys, so they sell themselves. The big teams have a big squad. Zinchenko doesn't get to play. You understand? Because it didn't rotate with Mendy. It means that if a player is coming back from injury, it's the way to push him into the team. He gets to get 60 minutes, gets to get 80 minutes, gets to get 50 minutes or one half. It is absolutely fine the way it is. FIFA wants to introduce their own tournament, not just one. They're looking at 2 tournaments. UEFA want to do an expand. They've expanded the Champions League. Remember, it's been expanded. They want to further expand it, and they want to bring all sorts of things. And they want to cajole England. Make them leave us the way we be.
Priye, was scrapping or revamping or keeping it the way it is? That's the League Cup. Will you reduce the loaded fixtures for the players? Because what they're all complaining about is that the players are playing too many games. They don't have enough time to rest before the season starts all over again. So will it reduce the load of fixtures that these players will get to play?
I think basically it should be scrapped. Like the League Cup should be scrapped totally for some important reasons. Like let's take Chelsea for a typical example. What happened the last time injured because of an FA Cup game they played midweek. And you play League One, EFL Cup, you play the Premier League, you play Champions League, or you play the Europa, and you still play the FA Cup. So many competitions are there to play. I think the League Cup is not significant for me because over the years we've seen some stubborn managers like that of Jose that will decide to play their first team players. We've seen managers who will not take this competition serious. They will just leave it for their team. It's not a serious competition, so any competition that's not serious basically should be scrapped.
You were saying
the fitness of the players.
You were saying it's not a serious kind of competition,
Yes.
but you know that the British, that is, they are very traditional, and this cup has been there since the 1960s.
Yeah.
So you asking them to scrap it? Don't you think it will cost a lot of
Can I just ask you?
Yes,
what
still a
happened
chance
to
now.
what
No.
happened to the teams in Championship
Yeah.
League One?
Now, those
and the
teams-
smaller run teams like Sheffield
you-
United and all that. Let me just know what
You
happens
asked
to
the
them.
question. Those teams participate in the FA Cup. Derby County played against
it's
Manchester
just going
United
to
in
be
the
a
FA Cup.
cup that they participate
No.
in. They don't get
Yeah,
to
they
play against
partic-
people.
Yes, they participate in the cup.
It's a
Cup
knockout
competition.
tournament, so you can play one game and you're knocked out.
The same
But you
thing
can
with
have
the
a
league-
run
the same thing with
in the League Cup
In the League Cup,
semi-finals.
yes, there's possibility of you to be knocked out before the
Yes.
semi-finals.
So you're
Because
just
also in
looking at
knockout grounds,
one game.
It's not about just one game. You're talking about fitness of even these teams that are coming up from the championship.
Santiago
I don't know if you get it.
Canizares got injured before the World Cup, the 2010, I think the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
When he was beaten, he was having his bath in the pet shop. His own cologne shaving fell and caught his leg.
Yeah,
People can get injured.
Accidents can happen, but we cannot shy away from the fact that too many games will actually make players not
Hudson
being
Odoi
fit.
collects $180,000 every week.
So the question is, why are we now complaining about all this? We are complaining about a load of fixtures for these players because of the new tournaments that are being brought into this.
They want to bring in.
This tournament have been ongoing for a long time.
Now
We've had the Premier League, we've had the AFA Cup, we've had the EFL Cup, we've had the Champions League before they introduced there was a UEFA Cup back then before they changed it to the UEFA Europa League and a host of others. We've had Club World Cup where a few selected clubs, not everybody gets to play that tournament. Back then we used to have the Confederation Cup when there was the World Cup before the World Cup and all that.
Yeah.
So now I don't want your suggestions there. I don't want what you think. I don't want you to tell me this is what I want for them to do. Now, my question is, what would you suggest the AFA do in this situation? Should they scrap or revamp it? I'm not asking your opinion. What would you suggest for the AFA to do?
I would suggest for them to scrap the EFL Cup. That's competition. I feel it should be scrapped.
So that's your
totally.
Timmy.
Absolutely not. Leave it the way it is. It gives people a chance to show themselves. Now, if you're a player, just take the FA Cup in Nigeria here. There are some boys that play for these smaller teams. And today, FN just did a tournament. Those boys can only mingle with Rivers United via the FA Cup. And not the general FA Cup, the state FA Cup. Now, this EFA Cup is like that state FA Cup. They do after they start playing. When it gets to second round, third round, some of these champion and Premiership teams starts to come in.
Okay.
You get to play against Man City. You get to know how you can take on Laporte.
Thank you for bringing that. You brought something up. You said, I'm sorry, Victor, I'll get to you. You made mention of, the third round before the bigger boys come into play. But now these younger boys, that's the so-called League One teams, have been playing longer before even the bigger teams come. So don't you think they are also suffering from...
No, they are not.
No.
They don't play the
What I'm trying
Champions
to
League.
say-
They don't play...
No.
Let me explain something to you because I'm the one that brought it up.
Yep.
First thing, they are not complaining.
Yeah,
because it brings more revenue to them. They are struggling. So everything about scrapping it is not because of them. Let's get it clear. It's because of the Liverpools of this world, the Chelseas of this world, the Man Cities of this world, the Man U of this world, the Liverpool and the
Still put them there. Now, what
Put them.
world, the Arsenal of this world. It's not because of Preston Norton. It's not because of Bolly.
Okay.
It's not because of Middlesbrough.
Tremor,
You understand? It's not because of Accrington Stanley. It's not because of those people. Those people start that year. They even have another trophy completely different that they play for. There's that Premiership teams are not even involved in. There's one more. We don't even talk about it. It's also there. It gives them time to make more revenue. Now they start earlier. The big boys, the Sheffield Uniteds and all that start from third round or the second round. Then the Chelseas and Man Cities come from the third round and all that. So that they've even arranged it so that it will even lessen the load. But you manage at the Preston Norton side, you manage to play and get to the fourth round, and you're lucky to get a home draw against the Man City side. One, you're guaranteed the packed stadium. Number two, one player has an outstanding performance. Let me take you to Colin Powell. There's a player that signed that Alex Ferguson signed for Man United.
Okay.
He signed him. Can't remember the club now, but he later went to Wigan. And I think currently he's in Stoke City. It took him an exceptional EFA Cup season to make that move.
Okay.
Make that leap to Man United. Yes, he never caught it at Man United. But that period he was at Man United, everything about his life changed. So I want to cut it from him.
So you are Don't change it. Keep it the way they are. The FA listen to me. That is coming from Timmy. Victor, what do you think?
I think
nothing. Your suggestion to the FA.
Well, I will tell the FA to revamp it. If they want this competition to remain, they have to add more glamour. They have to increase the prize money and probably guarantee a team that wins a chance to play in the UEFA competition. Because you look at it, how much is the winner of the EFL Cup going with? Do you know how much? £100,000. That's what the winner of the EFL Cup goes on with. That is Ojon Igalo's. It's not enough to pay Ojon Igalo's salary for a week.
Okay.
And now I understand Timmy's angle. Timmy is more like the Robin Hood. He's focused on the teams in the lower division. But for the big teams in the Premier League, this EFL Cup makes no sense to them. You look at their attendance. You look at the drop in attendance. I was watching I can't remember the EFL Cup game, and I think it was Wolves Stadium. They had 20-something thousand persons, and the commentator said that this is a decline to what they had the previous weekend when they played in the Premier League, which was they had close to 40-something thousand. That's almost half the number. These big teams are not interested in the EFL Cup. In the Premier League, the team that goes home with 17th place wins as much as £7.7 million.
Okay.
In the FA Cup, teams in the third round, teams that go through in the third round get I think qualify for the third round of the they get like £150,000. And we're talking about the winner of the FA Cup. Now, Manchester City just £100,000. I'm like, what is that going to do to them? So it makes no sense for the big teams. If they want to leave the EFL Cup, they've got to add more glamour. They've got to increase the prize money. They've got to make it more attractive. Because right now the EFL Cup is not attractive to the big teams. Okay. And if it is not attractive to the big teams, then they should just make it a championship down competition. Leave the Premier League out of it, or if you are going to do something about it, then you need to do a complete revamp so that it gets interesting for the Premier League. Because really, I tell you, I want to watch a Premier League game and you see Manchester United are playing a certain probably MK Dons, and you're like, because it's Manchester United you want to watch, but then you're looking at the first 11 and you don't even know any single person playing it. Yeah, it's important. It gets to. I understand Ultimate's point.
But remember, it was also in the FA Cup. MK does got to be Manchester United.
True. Forget. Okay, let me know because I said MK.
No, you just got memories.
So we have all these. Yeah, you might want to say you are going to see new players.
Can you see the way I'm looking at you?
I'm seeing the way you're looking at me. That's why I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at Dorcas. So I tell you, Dorcas, if they want to leave the EFL Cup, if the FA wants to leave the EFL Cup, increase the prize money, make it more glamorous, and probably do something that would make teams fight more. Probably UEFA. Look, if I tell you, if there's a position in the Europa League for the winner of the
there's actually a position for it.
Okay, hold on, guys. A game is about to start in front of us. And that is Liverpool. They are playing host to AFC Bournemouth. So we'll give you the lineups. Yeah. So
Liverpool are playing in a 4-3-3 formation. Adrian starts in goal because that man Alisson Becker got injured and he's been ruled out for even the game against Atletico Madrid.
He did not get injured in the EFL Cup. Let me just say this.
Well, the former defender sees Alexander Trent Arnold, Joe Gomez, as well as Virgil van Dijk and James Milner, while three-man defense made up of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho and Jorginho Wijnaldum, while up front you have Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. On the bench for Liverpool is Naby Keita, Takumi Minamino, Adam Lallana, Andy Lonergan, Divock Origi, Joel Matip, as well as Neco Williams. While Bournemouth plays in a 4-3-3 formation, Aaron Ramsdale starts in goal for them. Left back sees Adam Smith, right back is Jack Stacey, and the two midfielder or defense pairing is Nathan Ake as well as Steve Cook. In the midfield position is Lewis Cook, Jefferson Lemar, as well as Philip Billing. And up front is Ryan Fraser, Callum Wilson, and Junior Stanislas. On the bench for Bournemouth is Otto Borok, Dan Gosling, Andrew Soman, Dominic Solanke, Diego Rico, Jack Simpson, and Sam Surridge.
All right, and before we continue with the argument right now, but let's shoot to other matters first of all, then we'll get back to that. Let's talk about the Liverpool game in front of us.
I never tire.
I know, I'm not saying tire. We'll go back. No tire. Just wear your shoes. But first, let's talk about the Liverpool game. We know Liverpool, they lost back to back in the league. That's the EFL. Not the EFL. Why going back by the Premier League?
Premier League and
then the FA Cup. Can they return to winning ways today against AFC Bournemouth?
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, you see teams, they win, they lose. It's the game of football. That's the truth. The fact that Liverpool went that number of games unbeaten, that I think that's why there's just so much buzz to it. The fact that, okay, they were beaten and then they now lost to, I mean, out of 4 matches that they've played, they lost to Atletico Madrid. They eventually lost to Chelsea, lost to Watford. That's 3 out of 4 in their last 4 games. But then they have the possibility of going back to winning ways. They are playing at Anfield, which is, you want to say, at all the times that they lost, they did not play in their home stadium. This was at Wanda Metropolitano, Vicarage Road, and also at Stamford Bridge. And right now they're at Anfield, and we know the support that they get whenever they play in their home stadium. I think Liverpool would bounce back, but you must say that Bournemouth themselves, they are really, really impressive. They have what it takes to squeeze out a result or get some points. Sometimes a point, sometimes 3 points from the big teams. I think they did draw Chelsea just few weeks back, and although, well, let's just see how it goes. I think Liverpool have what it takes, no doubt about it. But then it looks like one person. I just realized that all these games that Liverpool have lost has actually been because of one man. The same way we are saying that Leicester City, because Wilfred Ndidi is not in their mix, that's why they're probably not doing so well. I think Jordan Henderson does a lot of things in that Liverpool team.
He was in the game against Atletico Madrid.
Okay. Atletico Madrid, it was a good fight.
I just wanted to remind you.
It was a good fight.
It was a loss. We're not talking about a good fight.
It was a good fight. But then
loss.
the games between Watford and Chelsea, Liverpool were completely dominated in those games. That's the thing. And the midfield seems to be lacking, and now Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is playing in midfield. I think Jurgen Klopp is just trying to see what he can do to know how to fortify that midfield, because if you lose the game in your midfield, I think both games they lost those games at their midfield. They were dominated in the midfield position. Billy Gilmore, as well as even Ross Barkley, shown like a million stars for Chelsea during the week. But then there's a possibility for Liverpool to bounce back. I think they're going to do that. Probably just a slim victory.
I don't like bringing up Liverpool or my program, because whenever I bring it up, it tends to dominate everything we talk about. The callers tend to do that a lot. But Timmy, will Liverpool's Premier League title be remembered for their incredible team or a weak competition this season?
A weak competition.
Explain, please.
Everything about it. Why would the Premiership leaders be leading with 20-something points?
We had this discussion last week, was it?
We come for you.
No, it's bottom line.
Because
it's the same thing that happened. No, I'm ready for people that come for me. Like I don't shy away from it. Like I always say that, listeners, if you're coming for me, just mention my name. I'll react to it. So no issues. As long as we're not being foul when we use words. But let me just tell you, 2016 was same weak competition when Leicester strode to the title, because every other person had their day. Just imagine if some of those matches that Man City got to lose or drop points, even Chelsea, for their madness started, if they hadn't dropped some points. Liverpool was so comfortable. They went to the Club World Cup and they were like country yards apart. And teams that were supposed to even cover up the gap were still dropping points when they were far away in Saudi Arabia, Abi UAE. So the competition was just weak. It was just weak, plain and simple. Obviously, this season is not the Man City we know. It's obviously not the Chelsea we know. It's obviously not even the Tottenham team. How many games that Poch was even struggling to win? There was a particular point, they were 12th on the table. How many points behind Chelsea? So it was just a weak competition. It was just a weak competition. Liverpool just showed. And you know, there's a way you beat somebody, I think you're so relaxed. Liverpool had so many games, they were winning 1-0, 89th minute. We'll be here watching like, okay, it's a draw. You just close your eyes and turn. 89th minute, Salah has scored. 89th minute, Firmino has scored. 89th minute, how many games? 87.
In the Club World Cup, the 2 games, even the final. It was just
like that. You understand? Like I said before, I told somebody like, it's meant to be their season. But we can't take it away. Like, so the big boys struggled when they needed not to struggle. So it was a weak competition.
Priya was looking at you in a funny way. Priya, what do you think?
He likes my face.
He's my brother. So, I think it's a fact that's not just a weak competition. It's actually a whole lot of factors. Some would say the VAR is quite strange to the EPL this season.
I didn't want to mention VAR.
They will off all of it. They'll be here looking.
I'll say the VAR actually played a big factor this season because teams are struggling to understand some decisions. Like a typical example, if you remember the Chelsea-Liverpool game, the first leg at Stamford Bridge, there's this goal Cesar Azpilicueta actually scored. And on the regular season, that should have stand as a goal.
Okay.
So it's quite new in the EPL. So most teams actually drop points. And you know one thing about goals, once you get a goal, there's either momentum, like you want to fight, you want to play, you want to score.
Okay.
You feel like there's still more for you to get in that game. So I think it's a combination of everything. The VAR lock, Liverpool being outstanding, teams not performing. I think it's just a whole lot of factors that actually made Liverpool win this particular season, win the EPL this season. Other teams
you've not won it yet.
They'll win.
I know, but I'm just like they've not won it yet.
It's obvious they're
win.
Definitely going to win. And so I think it's about weak competition. Secondly, VAR, new rules. Teams have not yet adjusted to that, because I think from next season, even though they cancel the goal, you have that mentality that we can still do it again.
Okay.
But you see most of the teams after celebrating, just like, oh, they canceled the goal, oh, we are down. How can we even come back? It's difficult for us. We struggle to get this goal, and they have cancelled the goal. What can we do? Let's just play the game. But from next season and maybe subsequent season, they will understand that even though the VAR cancelled this goal, we can still get more goals. I think it's about understanding the struggle, not about if it's favouring Liverpool or that. I think the team have not adjusted to these new rules.
Adjusted to the new rules. Okay. Well, the callers should, or send us the text messages on what you think. If you think
For
Bournemouth.
I think the
loophole. It's about the loophole.
I was just looking at.
I didn't know cancel the goal.
I
think they'll cancel the goal. There was a push.
It makes no sense to me. I'm looking at a Liverpool team, and how did they rip that defense?
It's not push. It's not push.
That's a 50-50.
Now let me tell you what Fred pushed. Fred leaned on Azpilicueta, and Azpilicueta now leaned on another player, and he ended up leading to go. If they cancel that one, why wouldn't they cancel this?
They won't cancel
this can't be offside.
It can't be offside. It's a goal.
No, this is not offside. I think it's that show. Look at that show. They will cancel it.
If it's that, if it's
so
that,
the man did something similar when
they
played Norwich City.
No, it's normal. VR. Priya mentioned that. Listeners, Priya mentioned VR. I did not mention VR.
Okay, so they are still checking. So let's wait and see if the VAR will call that off.
Even after
not
the
a
show,
goal or
if you
that.
check, he slowed down because he expected a call.
It's a goal.
They didn't give it.
It's a goal.
Yes,
okay.
Finally.
All right, then. So Liverpool are 1-0 down right now as we speak at Anfield. 1-0 in favor of Bournemouth.
I'm surprised the way Bournemouth just ripped out the defense, and Jurgen Klopp is doing what Diego Simeone did. They're psyching the fans.
I've seen this.
It makes no sense.
He's actually reeling at the officials.
I've seen
He's doing an Ancelotti.
I've seen this happen in the beginning of the season. I wonder why Premier League managers. That I think about the tactical prowess of most of these managers are poor this season. I don't know what's happening to them.
Because there were a lot of flop this season as well. So
I've seen a lot. I've seen loopholes in this Liverpool team. They are right and left back. People are not utilizing this. Because I've seen when the season started, we have the likes of because they play parallel and defensive midfielders, 3 defensive midfielders, Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Fabinho. These guys can actually spread and cover for this left and right back. But with time, they got tired. They could not come back and fall back and possibly assist them. So we see the loopholes there. We see when teams who actually need to utilize those spaces, and they didn't utilize the spaces. And Liverpool, we are just getting results that they did not deserve. It's not a foul.
How is that? You see, he's slow.
All right, guys. Your predictions. Liverpool. What am I calling Liverpool? Victor, are you Liverpool? Victor, it's a prediction.
Okay, this game.
Yeah, this game.
I think it last 2-2.
What is wrong? Why are you stammering?
Because I'm worried for Liverpool now. The way Klopp, instead of to just win this league sharp. I think now we're not going to wait till probably April, May before he wins it.
Okay, so you're for a draw?
Well, not. I think Liverpool will still bounce back, but it will be a high-scoring game. 3-2 for Liverpool.
I think it's going to be a draw. Possibly 2-2 draw.
What did you eat before coming?
Draw soup.
TV. Just tell me what you think. No analysis.
No analysis.
No
I
analysis.
wasn't even going to analyze. I just want it to end in a draw. I want it to.
All right, callers. You should send us your messages, and we'll be taking your calls later as the show progresses. But for now, you can drop your messages for us so that we can get your thoughts. We've said a lot. You think if Liverpool goes, if you remember this Liverpool win, if they win the title as a big competition or a brilliant Liverpool side. And I'm going to add one more question for you guys. Okay, before that, I will ask the guys, but let me see if they know the answer to this one. Before we move on to the matters, no argument again. I don't want argument. I don't want League Cup argument. I don't want any argument right now.
I will
argue.
It has to be okay. Complete your argument, and then I'll ask you guys this question. Complete your argument about the League Cup. You had a lot of things to say about that.
Absolutely nothing is wrong with the League Cup. Remember, I keep saying this. Like those smaller teams, he talked about a Wolves side, and you have 20,000 spectators in that game. I can comfortably bet with you that out of that 20,000, close to 10,000 were from the lower team. The supporters were in that pit. Now let me just tell you something. Tickets are sold. You understand, by clubs. And you can actually make money as a traveling team from those tickets. Now, if you get to play in your home ground against the Man City side, you're going to sell out the stadium. Remember, you're going to play 2 games in a week. And you pay your players every Friday. It means it's an extra bonus of making money. Even for a Wolverhampton Wanderers side, it's not even free. Even if, let's say, those 20,000 fans are from Wolverhampton Wanderers alone, it means that they've had extra money made that weekday alone. So they have extra money. So let's even leave the 100,000 that they're paying them.
Timmy,
it's a massive stage to expose players.
Timmy,
big stage. Yes,
Timmy,
Tariq Lamptey was the name I was looking for. The Chelsea player. Yeah. Tariq Lamptey,
the black boy. Yeah.
I'm coming. Hudson-Odoi got his first teeth in EFL, the EFL Cup. I can continue to call players that got their teeth. McTominay, that we're saying today, most of the stars we see today, EFL was the first time that they got to play for their team. McTominay, Tariq Lamptey, Mason Mount, people got to know Mason Mount because of the exploits of Derby County when he was in Derby County. Fikayo Tomori, Tammy Abrahams, you understand? All these boys got their breakthrough playing against the big boys because of the EFL Cup. You can say, I don't even want it to be touched because they've already pampered the big boys enough. And these big boys have a big squad. They have a big squad. You have 25, officially you have 25 players. Then any English or homegrown player is not part of that 25. So sometimes you can have your team, your squad stretched to as much as 30-something. And they are complaining. This whole issue is just arising because FIFA wants to create another tournament. UEFA wants to. Remember, it did not start today. Remember, Infantino talking about CAF, how we should also do our own thing, reduce this because they want to create something. They are just good. It started with CAF. They've entered UEFA. They've entered English. They'll move. Because France wants to reduce their own from 3 tournaments to 2. They use this as an excuse to cajole England. I think the smaller boys will lose massively. Even for big teams like Chelsea, a lot of players will lose. Leave it the way it is.
All right, leave it the way it is. That it is. The guys are giving us their thoughts. Some said, Victor said revamp. This one said scrap. And the other one is saying do nothing at all to it.
And first of all, if you look at the schedule from November, if you Premier League schedule from November till January is quite tight. And that's the period you see the EFL Cup games. You saw the very first edition of the FA Cup, when FA Cup will start possibly for the big teams. This is becoming serious. It's becoming serious. Then you will see the EPL Cups. EPL games will be coming up midweek, weekends and all. So it's quite difficult for EPL teams to manage this. It is very difficult. And now you expect them to do well in Europe. Most of the EPL teams struggle when they go to Champions League because of this tight conjecture of and the schedule for their game schedule.
The Champions League just started February 18th.
It's quite
February
difficult 18th. For them. I'm talking about the timetable from November to January.
You're looking at 6 clubs is what we're looking at. Not as if we're looking at the whole 20 clubs. We're looking at 6 clubs. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. That if they're still in the tournament, we're looking at 6 clubs. Now, what about Bournemouth? What about Burnley? What about
They have the FA
what
Cup
about
to
Sheffield?
play.
What about they have the FA Cup?
Yeah.
FA Cup is a knockout competition, not a league. So you play it once and you're out, and you don't give your those boys chance.
Funny enough, in the EFL Cup, apart from the early rounds, it's also a knockout.
They've even
knockout
adjusted
phases,
it though. Remember FA Cup now, they've even removed replays so you don't even have replays from a particular stage. They
Because
remember,
of-
and you people just want it
because
to
of the
go.
schedule, because of the
Which schedule?
schedule.
These people are making 300 and something pounds every week. They should play more.
Okay.
We want to watch. They should play more. Alexis Sanchez makes over almost 500,000 pounds a week, and they shouldn't be playing 4 times in a week. They should play more.
think about the players.
Okay,
health.
guys.
Which
Okay.
player
Think about their
says
health.
with 400,000
Guys.
I will not get sick? I am telling you,
No.
400,000 pounds I will not
Okay,
get sick.
okay, guys.
about
Now
their fitness.
let's look at this Liverpool game. We've seen a lot of runs made by the Bournemouth side. They are looking very, very good right now as we speak. What exactly is wrong with it? Where is this loophole that Bournemouth are actually using against
It's the
Liverpool
right
right now as
back
we
and the
speak?
left back.
It's
It's
an-
simple.
He's everywhere.
When Alexander
Right now,
is going
they just came
forward.
from the middle.
They're not even going from the sides, funny
I
enough.
know.
They're going from the middle.
They're going from
It's
the middle.
simple. They've just told one player to sit with that back two men and that back, and he can hold up play. And
Definitely.
it's a classic player that can do that. It's the particular not Wilson. It's Wilson now.
Wilson,
It's
then
Wilson.
in front of him, yeah, back of
You have
Wilson,
Billing. You have Billing
Yeah.
sending it. See, they're just boycotting, bypassing the midfield. Once they get the ball, they send it to Wilson, and he holds up play for others.
That was
Joe
exactly
Gomez
what
is not
that was
doing
exactly what
enough.
was for it against Liverpool.
Did.
They did
So
the
you don't
long
even
ball
need to go
passes
through the
and all.
wings.
And they used before Duolifo got injured. We saw what he did. The exploits.
Okay.
See,
On the flank.
he held up
we saw
play.
what Sa. We saw what Sa did also. Operating from the flank. I think one of their biggest problem is when Robertson and Alexander Arnold
First
go
game of
forward.
the season, Liverpool Norwich. Timo Pukki did exactly the same thing.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's leave that Liverpool. Let me ask you guys a question. How many managers so far from the year 2000 have won the FA Cup? I don't want names. Just tell me the guys. I think the callers will, give us the names of these managers and that have won the Premier League.
The FA Cup. or
Not the
Premier
FA
League?
Cup. The FA Cup. The FA Cup. How many managers so far
How many
have
managers?
won the FA Cup from the year 2000
Yes.
till now?
Managers from
Because
where?
some managers have won like more than one.
More
time,
than
like,
once.
yeah.
than
Well,
Like
How
that
many
of-
managers have
2000
won it?
From the year
Alice-
2000.
From
like-
the year 2000 to 2019,
Arsene
because
Wenger
we
has
haven't
won some
actually.
Oh, that's 19.
That is not. I don't want Arsene
Okay.
Wenger. I don't want the. I want how many as in number is in figures like 10,
12.
20.
Let's calculate. Let's
Think
bring that
about
down.
it.
I
I
think,
think-
I
I
think,
call
it
us-
should I think it should be like 5.
No.
No,
Five
no,
seasons.
from beyond
From
2000.
2000.
No, one manager has
No, I'm saying
repeated
from
that.
2000.
It's 2000.
It should be like-
2000
should be like
9 years
12
now.
now.
So like
12.
It's still more than
No,
5
up to
years.
12.
I think it's 12.
No,
Oh,
because
All
some
right.
have repeated. I
You
think
can-
Mourinho. I don't want to.
Okay, no,
we shouldn't make
yeah,
like
yeah.
6.
The callers, you should send us the messages. Can you name all FA Cup winners, managers since 2000? It's way more than what you think. It's way more than what you think. Yes,
More than 6, right?
The most successful. Who is the most successful from the year 2000 till now?
Arsene
Which
Wenger.
manager is
Wenger
me?
now.
How many times has he won it?
He has won it like 6 times.
So
From
think
2000
about it
till
from
now.
2000
Yeah.
to 2019 because we haven't gotten to the finals yet so far.
From 2000, he won like 6 times. From 2000, when did he retire? When did he leave Arsenal? That he
Arsene
won it
Wenger.
6 times.
He won six. He won it
Did I
6
mention
times.
the-
He won it
No,
6
from
times.
2010.
Arsene Wenger won it
2000, not
6
Oh, you're saying
times.
from 2000.
From 2000.
No, my brain was telling me 2010.
Okay, no,
Sorry.
from 2000.
No, I was thinking 2010. That's why I said about 6. Because I know
From the
we
year
had
2000.
multiple, some people winning it more than once. That's why I said
Yeah.
6. So
Alright.
from 2000, it's way
So
more than
the
that
most
now.
successful is who? What do you
It
think?
has
to be
Arsene
Arsene
Wenger. He has
Wenger.
won it 6
Arsene
times,
Wenger.
but so far from the year 2000 until 2019, how many managers have won it so far?
It should be about
I'm saying
12. It should be
12.
about between
That's why
10
I
and
said
12.
12.
Between 10 and 12. Because I know that Mourinho is the multiple winner.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger is a multiple winner.
Not
That's
from,
with Pep
not,
Guardiola.
from, not from the year 2000. Mourinho is not a multiple winner, not from the year 2000.
He has won like 2 or
No,
3.
he hasn't
FA
won
Cup.
like 2 or 3.
He has won just
Not from
2
the
now.
year 2000.
not from the year 2000.
From
When did Mourinho come to?
Confused
It's not
me.
2004, 2005. I'm like, are you serious?
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
guys. Send us your messages while we'll move on. Let's move on to other matters making rounds now. You can send us the messages. How many coaches have won it
Your
so
village
far?
people have done something. You're making my life. I actually thought.
No, really, you're
2010.
confused because really, no, from 2000, from the year 2000
To 2019.
Mourinho to 2019, Mourinho hasn't won it 2 times.
He has won it just once.
Wow.
Once.
So
One with Chelsea.
Yeah.
that is it.
He has won it just once.
Really? He played final when he was Manchester United against Chelsea.
Yeah,
and he
lost once with Chelsea. That was
true.
like 2007.
Let's move on to the matters. Let's talk about now.
No, first it was EFL Cup.
Guys.
Carling Cup then.
Guys, look at me. Don't worry about it.
No. People from your village have affected you. Man, let me look at you that they've not contaminated. I like, no, seriously.
Let's let our text message portal tell us what our callers think or
I'm
our
not gonna
messages
go
think.
Google.
Because from the year 2000, you get to tell us how many managers have won it. If you can call the names, fine. It's even good for us so far. But so let's move on to other matters. Where Newcastle United Academy coach Natalie Henderson is the only female coach working in the Premier League Academy. She is coaching a male side. Henderson is face leader for the under-14 team at Newcastle and is the only female coach working in the Premier League Academy. Quoting her, she said, "It's nice when people say that I am a trailblazer. I like that, but I don't see myself as one. To me, I'm just a football coach and I'm just doing what I really love." Henderson says she is treated the same as her male colleagues by the youngsters in the academy. So why I brought this up is I wanted to ask you guys, how possible is it for a woman to coach a men's side, a men's team? Because right now, I think what women are clamoring for, women coaches are clamoring for right now is to coach a male side.
I didn't know. When did you start clamoring for
right
that?
now. They really want to show what the stuff they're made of.
Really, I didn't want to talk about this.
No, what's your take?
If you say anything now, people will say, okay,
I
gender.
Because I am here, so you don't have to say anything.
People from the village did something to you.
So please explain.
From the moment I entered the studio, I noticed something is not right. But let me tell you why there's a bond between players and their coaches. Now, you share this in room. What we see is just the final touch. In the dressing room, you bid together, you do everything together. I think from that perspective, there's something.
If you want to bring the perspective, we've seen women that are being coached by men.
They don't share the same bed.
So I was not sharing the same bedroom with the men I coach now.
It's part of football.
No, it's not any part of anything.
No,
Doctors, I feel. What's the name of that Chelsea team doctor again? The lady.
Eva. I don't know. I can't remember the other part.
Why I made mention of that is that many of the players will say they have this personal relationship with her as a doctor.
Okay.
Like especially David Lewis, that boy. When she just touched him, he would just stand up and just jump off.
Before
they would just be vibrating. So I feel if a lady, especially a beautiful one.
Why do you have to? Why do we not have to put something behind it?
That's why I did not want to talk about it.
I would say this.
I'm not talking about this again.
I feel if ladies, let's be serious here. I think if ladies go into coaching, they will do very well. And let's see. No.
How did you miss that?
Missed it.
That's a goal.
It's a goal. Oh,
wow.
That's a beautiful goal from my son. It's now 1-1 at Anfield. Mohamed Salah just equalized for Liverpool as we speak.
So I think ladies will do very well as managers because we've seen them handle homes. Let's start from the basics.
Oh boy.
We've seen ladies.
My brother, go
We've
on.
seen independent ladies. Yeah, where they have done quite well training children. You know the impact of our mom.
They know leadership. They know leadership.
Yeah. You've seen countries where women are actually their leaders. Like go to
and
Croatia,
they do well.
Croatia, Germany. These countries are doing well, so we cannot take anything away from the ladies. We can remember Dora Konyele. If you want a physical and a strong lady,
we can also remember Patricia Lubomiete. So let's do it that way.
We can always do it that way. So I think ladies can. We have seen terrible male
we can
coaches.
remember this. Do you want us to do it that way?
You have seen terrible.
There are not
male
many,
coaches,
so it's easy for you to pick out some standout ones. But what you're talking about is they should coach female teams. Let's start from there.
Let's start
from there.
See,
sports is there's so many things you share as a sports person.
You
understand?
So
I think
why do you want to bring it that way?
We should also bring in the argument that men shouldn't coach female national teams.
Yes.
I don't have issues with men because if they don't want them to coach, I don't have any issue with them. Let men not coach. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. No, man. If you are qualified women to coach in female national teams or female side, I don't have issue. Men shouldn't go there.
I also think
but there's a bond you share.
Female to coach the
ball.
They should coach female.
Excuse me, guys. When we talk about women in sport, I think women want to do everything.
Yeah.
We've seen them clamor to be referees. We've seen one.
I don't have issues with that.
No.
Referees don't go to that room.
That is not different. Because they are also playing and doing exactly what the players are doing. In a bit, though, yes, they are just running with the whistle and all that. But you need to be fit. If a woman is qualified to coach a male side. Shouldn't she start a chance to coach the sides?
She should. But then
let's not be media friendly. Now,
If I am qualified, if I am a certified UEFA coach,
first of all, you're not qualified. Let's start with that.
I was a FIFA certified coach. I had the license to coach any team in the world. Any team in the world. No, that is not it.
Let me just tell you this before let me tell you this why I said I didn't want to talk about it. At least I've managed to play small football. You understand? And if you've watched these players behind the scenes, if you take Finidi George, the 94 World Cup, and the stories we talked about, when that I've known like firsthand, like from his younger brother, that there's an experience that happens in the dressing room. You understand? Even when they go on break, let's go rush to have a bath.
And it doesn't mean.
No, it actually means that there's something that's not there. If you're really go and coach Lyon, which is actually the best female side. Go and coach Lyon.
I think right now you're segregating women from coaching.
No, they should coach female teams. Men shouldn't coach female teams. I understand.
It's no longer a laughing matter. No, see, it's no longer Timmy.
People are naked and coaches are talking.
It's no longer a laughing matter.
I'm not laughing. I wasn't.
Women coaching men's team should this be taken seriously?
No,
that's for you. You are saying no. But other guys, what do you think?
The truth be told, there are different factors you've got to look into it, and I totally understand what Timmy was saying. I remember sometime that should be last season. Cristiano Ronaldo did put a picture on, or he was making a video on Instagram. I think
somebody was naked,
and Giorgio Chiellini was just at the back, totally
completely naked,
and it was shown to the whole world. He had to take down the video, but people had already seen it by then. And at that moment, the coach of Juventus then who was it again?
I
think it was Allegri. Allegri was talking to them because he was shown in the video addressing them. Chiellini was already naked, and he was changing his clothes. Allegri was still talking to them. Cristiano Ronaldo was videoing, and then the video went public. That look at Chiellini unclad.
It's a normal thing.
So I understand what Timmy is saying about it, but then if you want to look at it that way, I think we're going to bring on the argument of also men would have to stop
women.
Because
it still happens if women are also taking their bath because they see the same routine
as well.
In the same routine.
You know, it's easier to look at the female.
Why is it easier? Why is it easier? Let me just tell you this. A woman and not easier for a woman to look at a man.
Women are more beautifully created. You understand? No, men we have extension. Women do not have extension. Man, looking at the naked man, it's actually it pains the eye. You understand? No, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, you're feeling for the ladies.
No, it's easier to look at the naked woman than to look at the naked man. Seriously. If you're not having anything with why you're closing your ears, what the world is hearing me. That's why I said I didn't want to talk about it. But let's be factual. There's an episode of Seinfeld I saw, and the guy was like doing competition. He goes on, the woman is naked, and because of that, he started being naked. And the woman told him plainly, like, it's easier to look at the woman that's naked than to look at the man that's naked.
That's just one woman's thoughts.
It's normal.
That's just one woman's thoughts. Yes, please.
I feel it's about psychology and mindset.
True.
Yeah, because we can see a female coach with a clear-cut mindset. She will sit in front of naked guys and she will do her business. She will be doing the business. She will be doing the business.
He has a point. We've been clamoring that. No, hold on. We've been clamoring that when a woman dresses, with skimpy clothes and all that, and she arouses a man, the man should be able to control himself and not going over to rape a woman or something. Because you don't encourage. No, it's the same thing. If you can control yourself as a person, why can't you coach someone?
Women are beautiful.
Please go on.
Men are not that. Now you not put a woman
to Priya should go on.
You have 22 players, 22 naked human beings.
Priya should go on.
It's about being professional here.
Yes.
Now we've seen movies. We've seen when we've seen backstage where they shoot movies. Like we've seen making of movies where you see that the actors, the both male and female, actually they could even go nude and nobody cares. The director doesn't care. It's about doing the job.
Be it a man or a woman.
Be it a man or a woman. So if you're the manager of that club, possibly let's give a typical example. You're a manager of Chelsea Football Club and
why use
Chelsea?
Use Arsenal.
Let me use Arsenal. The Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah, the Arsenal. And possibly it's a female as the manager, not Arteta. She goes in there, she's angry that they have lost the game. So what's her business with them being naked? She just go there and I don't know if you get me. She just goes
I
straight
get
up
you,
for the
my brother.
Tell them, see, you have to go back there and get the result. Get the job done.
We've heard situations of, I think Maury Kadi had an issue where he married his teammate's wife. His teammate's wife. What if we're now talking about professionalism from the female aspect? That's
not just from the female aspect, from everybody.
You can't
involved.
That's the thing. You cannot guarantee the professionalism of everyone. It's not a. This is football. You
what about the
male?
You cannot.
No. I don't think you can completely guarantee. Else you would have said that Ikari shouldn't have done that. How would you marry your teammate's girlfriend? He shouldn't have done that. So he already.
Or you and sleep with your brothers.
Or John Terry at the point in time.
Why use John Terry? John Terry won't have bad as his own.
All right, guys. So, what do you think about it?
They shouldn't do it.
I think there are so many factors to look into, and if they eventually look into all these factors in this situation, maybe they should speak with the players as well, that the female will coach and tell them, are you comfortable with a player, with a female coaching you? And this is another thing. But meanwhile, Liverpool have an attack and it is 2-1 to Liverpool. That should
you see when I said they were not just competitive enough. You see when I said
Sadio Mane makes it 2 for Liverpool, and they're leading right there at Anfield. But then, Dorcas, I'm also thinking about the ego. I think some players already, we see it a lot in Nigeria. There's a big that should be Peter Doche. He came out recently and said that any man that kneels down to propose is an idiot.
His words exactly.
You look at players that have huge egos. I'm thinking, this is me being very honest. If a female is going to be coaching AC Milan, I don't see Zlatan. Well, I don't know him one-on-one. But from the Zlatan that we see, from the Zlatan that we hear, without his nose, from his pride, his ego, his arrogance, would he listen? We might just be seeing more situations of Kepa Arrizabalaga where, if a female now tells you come out the bed, you're not coming out. Let me start with this.
That's the issue. Long live the Queen. If the British government say allegiance to the Queen of England.
I love you right now.
I don't get it.
Remember I said something is happening to Joker from the village. But let me just, before Praise say this, let me just say this. It puts a hold. We're looking at things. Let's look at the bigger picture. Now, if she gets sacked, they say, they gave her 5 games. They sacked her. Like this, can you sack her because she's a female? Because of the. Listen, it shouldn't happen. We shouldn't think about it. If you think you're very good as a female coach, Lyon is the best female team right now.
So a man should not coach any women team.
I don't have issues with men.
Call us, please. Call us. It's now time for us to hear from you. Call us and give us your opinion. We've talked a lot about the show. We've talked about the EFL Cup being scrapped or revamped. Which do you want to suggest? What do you want to suggest to for the AFA? We also talked about if Liverpool gets to be the winners of the EPL this season. Do you think we will remember them as the one of the greatest players, or they had one of the greatest teams, or it was because of a weak competition generally? The phone lines are already buzzing. Phone lines are 0817 00951 or 0810 951 951. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. I don't know where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name is John Socrates.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
You need my man.
Yes.
I just like what Philly just said now. Concerning a woman coaching a male team. No, my dear. Yes, it is very easy a man to coach a woman. But imagine men are there in the dressing room and some of them want to be naked and a woman coming, you people come.
Why is it easy for a man to coach a female team and not easy for a woman to coach a men team?
Just calm down. Let me analyze something to you.
Please do.
Imagine a female doctor in Chelsea. A female doctor, just a doctor in Chelsea. They were touching these people. These people were kind of reacting. How much? See, let me tell you. I will tell
you.
You're
enjoying it, and
5 of 4 or 5 of 10 players would like to swim with her. If you like to believe it or not. I'm telling you, they will want to swim with her. And it will bring confusion in the team. Because you want to put this one that she loves, and you will not want to put that.
So you cannot control yourself.
Confusion. You can't even, don't think of it. Don't even think of it.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
It will be problem.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much.
That she loves. A lot, the one she loves is the one she will want to put in the place.
It's about love now.
All right, thank you so much. This is the time I need Faith to call the most because I need to hear what she
Faith is my darling. Faith will support
we are the only women when it comes to this today's spotlight show that we are doing right now. So I need someone else to call and support me in this. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's spotlight.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Eto. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Noah.
Noah to you too. Noah. Yes.
Noah.
With your thoughts. What with your thoughts?
Noah. Allow me to greet your brother.
Noah.
So, what's a good thought? See, did Edwin Okon, as a coach of River Center, did you normally go to the dressing room to check out how the ladies doing after the 45 minutes ending?
Of course, he will. He has to talk to them.
Even when the ladies are on the bathroom,
we don't know. We have not been there to see it by ourselves.
Which means it is not good for Edwin Okon to enter there, which means it's not also good.
Let them sack Edwin Okon. Let him go and coach men.
If he's ready. It's not good. So both of them, a woman should maintain his line, a man should maintain his line.
Thank you, Mbok.
All right, too. All right, too. Thank you, too. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Your name, where are you calling us from?
I am Civilian General. I'm calling from LLM.
Welcome to the show, Civilian General.
Thank you very much. I want to begin by saying life generally is just about discipline.
Yes.
And if one is disciplined, I don't see anything wrong. Either a female coaching the male or male coaching the female. It is only when we allow the discipline in us not to be there. Then how about the schools? Do we not have female teachers teaching teaching male children in the school?
Especially boarding facilities.
So until one is prepared to be disciplined, if you have a job doing and then you decide to be reckless, that's where the fear of let a female not coach. And then the coaching, there's limitation. When they go to their bathroom, the coach is not expected to go there with them. There's limit to every assignment given to any person.
Thank you, my brother.
There isn't anything wrong for anybody to coach any person. But the only thing that is wrong is that whenever we lose our moral, the indiscipline in us comes out. That is how we begin to look at who is supposed to be here and who is not supposed to be there. That generally is about discipline. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love you for that comment. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Life. Yes, good afternoon to you. Where are you calling us from?
I'm Mr. Chelsea. I'm calling from Mother George.
Mr. Chelsea, welcome to the show.
Please tell me you should calm down.
I am calm. I am calm. I am calm.
It's going to even make more sense if female coaches coach male teams.
How?
Yes.
How?
Thank you,
I want to
let
hear.
him explain. Yeah, go on.
We'll have more Eden Hazard and David Luiz. You see what they did with that former Chelsea doctor.
That was Hazard and David Luiz worst season for Chelsea because of that woman.
Let him finish. Go on.
Okay. Imagine a female coach is PSG. Neymar and with Neymar and Icardi.
Yeah.
The romance, everything will just be perfect. Yeah.
Everything. See, you'll be surprised if Ronaldo and Messi will like to play one club for a female coach.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's going to make more sense.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. We are in this together. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon to you, Simon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I don't support female coaching.
Simon, me, I don't like the angle you took it from. You just called my name like that to tell me that one.
Because you are the one that carries you are the engineer, the anchor. You are the one that anchor.
She wants to coach us now.
You are the executive director there. You know? See, the second to the last caller, even the last caller have already said it. The reason why you will even see men coaching female teams, for my own opinion, the reason why is because the two genders did not start football at the same time.
Okay.
Men started football before women, and because of that, men now that have the experience and need to impart the knowledge to women. And even all of them started at the same time. I don't think that male coach will even be coaching. So now that female now are able to the task now, For me, it is better now for everybody to answer his father's name now.
Better!
Coach Messi. Female. Coach Messi. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Simon. Let's get another thought as the show progresses. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live. Yes, good afternoon to you. And then where you're calling us from?
My name is Prince.
Could you speak up a little so we can hear you?
Yes, my name is Prince from America.
All right, Prince, go on with your thoughts.
It is very wrong for a female coach. Right, very, very wrong. You should focus on
Okay, thank you so much. We can't really get here, but I think I heard the part where you said the woman will not be good for a woman to coach a male team. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Yes, Doctor, this is Asna Babatwe.
Welcome to the show, my brother.
Yes. Doctor, very, 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 very hard. Before a woman to coach a man, very, very hard. Very, very hard. Don't support all that. Woman coach woman. Man coach man.
Okay, so no more men now in the women's game, Abi?
No, don't worry. I tell you, relax yourself. It
Okay.
happened to us when I was working a CK supporter in South Africa. A woman come as a captain, Doctor, too much problem. Because of 20 men, almost more than 750 men. A woman to become a captain, they cause many problems. Doctor, no way. Women coach women, man coach man.
Simple.
All right, thank you so much. You can give your calls coming through for text message at WhatsApp or to 0701 933 9962. Phone lines are 0817 00951 or 0810 951 954. Twitter is Today FM 951 or at Sports Diva 4.
Doctors, going to the WhatsApp portal. Choco, it says from your street, says coaching a male team takes a lot of guts. The shouting, the ranting, the masculine voice, and all that. You need a roaring voice to talk a Zlatan into playing in position. Imagine a woman telling Zlatan, run, tackle. Gosh, they should focus on women football, Joe. What sort of this is that? Well, Val from Abbas says, good afternoon, guys. First of all, how many male coaches are coaching a female team or club? Because I think that the ratio evenly cancels itself. The most important thing is that these players, their whole career from cradle, are exposed to male coaches all through. And so infusing a female coach at a later stage of their career will be very difficult to work with. And for persons using politics, classroom, and all to justify women's inclusion in coaching, they should know that football is a very unique sport and it cuts across a whole lot, including personal relationship. Timmy, man on fire. Please tell Dorcas to start a coaching career with Today FM team.
I'll resign.
And how she has
I'm not even
Mega and Ghana man.
She can handle them.
See, if somebody like Casta Semoya comes now said she wants to coach
That
Today
one is
FM
not a man, it's not a woman also.
No, so what are you not saying? Because she's saying she's a woman. So what do you do? What do you want to say?
We'll manage her.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Mr. Foster calling from Ogoniland.
Mr. Foster, welcome to the show.
This is where they argue whether woman people. Woman no go people woman.
Thank you.
Woman no go. I tell you now. I tell you now. Okay, you go to AC Milan now. Where you all this kakaraka. See Latin. See this one. See all this one. What woman want go to? Okay, look at the top now. What you want go to Latin?
I got to waiting go do that. I don't know what I go tell her.
You know go tell her only that he knows.
I talked about that nose.
All right.
What do you want up?
All right, thank you so much for calling into the show today, Mr. Foster. If I got your name right. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live. All right, that one is a runaway caller. You can keep your calls coming through text message portal is 0701 933 9962. For phone lines, 0817 00951 or 0810 951 951. Or you can either tweet at us at Today FM 951, at Today FM 951, or at Sports Diva 4, or at Victor Oriahi, and at Priya Peasy. I almost forgot that one. Let's go back to the phone lines and get your thoughts. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, everybody in the studio.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Bright from Ogoniland.
All right, go over your thoughts.
Yes. I want to ask a question. If Cristiano Ronaldo scored a goal and probably the coach of the team is a woman and he runs off the field to hug
him,
to the coach, what will happen then?
It's Hulk now. It's not simple Hulk.
Yeah, so women should not coach the national team, especially those category of teams. But for our Premier League here, where it's possible. Those Premier, the European leagues and all those top clubs, it's not possible because a lot of things will go wrong. And it will cause distraction to the player because some of them will be focusing on the backside of the foot.
Okay, but I don't buy that anyways. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Name where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Mauda. My name is Prince.
All right, Prince, go on with your thoughts.
Waking up, no respect for managing.
Thank you.
How you take me? How you mean?
Thank you.
Everything now, and I won't give woman.
We won't do everything now.
Thank you.
Do it.
Will they play football? We they do presidents now. We don't become president for every country now. Okay, but for Nigeria, we'll never be rich, but we'll go soon rich. We are doing everything now. We are engineers, we are pilots, we are everything. So what are you trying to say?
We will leave everything for now.
All right, thank you so much. You can give your calls coming through so we can get your reactions on this issue or these issues we've been talking about. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Look at I call back.
All right, Eto.
Please, in a team like Real Madrid, as you when Ronaldo was here, and Sergio Ramos is here, and they bring a very beautiful and a nice coach, whereby he's a little bit younger than all of them.
Okay.
And what do you think that will happen? Because this one will admire his coach.
They will respect her.
No,
they would respect her because she's their coach.
And they're professionals.
No, there will be no respect. Before you know that, there will be a division between the players.
There must not be division. They must stick to their job that pays them money.
They ought to.
They ought to.
They will not stick to the division. Before you know that, one of them will surely get to fall in love.
All right, thank you so much, Eto. Thank you so much. We got your reaction to this. Let's go back to other callers. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Yeah, good afternoon once again, Civilian General.
All right, welcome back to the show.
A lot of arguments have been coming against. I keep asking myself, who is the first coach in life? Our mother is the first coach. Because even as you are born, the first person you see, the first who tell you that this is your father is your mother. Then if we should accept, then if your mother, or if you come to later, you got a good job and then you come back home and your mother embraces you, my son, welcome. You think negative about it?
It's not possible.
Then if your boss in the office is a woman, and then he gives you an assignment and you perform very well, she hugs you, then your mind starts being negative about it.
Civilian General.
You begin to think evil. I'm telling you.
My brother, thank you.
When we have evil thoughts in our mind, that's when we begin to look at the other side of it. Thank you. A coach, we have a female referee. Then when she blows in the field of it, then you go and hug her or you go and start thinking evil because no. Thank God, all these professionals, they are disciplined there before they get to the
not all of them are disciplined.
They are passed through a lot of things. And therefore, while you are there for a purpose, to play your football and to being coached.
All right.
If you want to fall in love, there are so many other women you can see outside. We must not be that your coach.
Thank you.
We must not be the referee at the field of play.
You follow.
Thank you so much. Let's get this call before we go to other matches. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Your name, where are you calling us from?
My name is Kopul. I'm calling from Woji.
Okay, go on with your thoughts.
Yes, I don't support women going into coaching work because it may not really work, except the person will be an old woman.
Definitely, yes. Most managers have.
What's your definition of old woman?
From what age?
Woman, maybe about 60 years.
That's the age for managers, most times.
Okay.
Do you know that when Adam was in the Garden of Eden, he was very comfortable there. No problem. As soon as God gave him Eve, the problem started from.
So you are trying to say we are wala.
Are you not the one that caused all this wala now?
So when men are doing their own thing and it's going as at now, let's leave it like that to do.
Thank you.
Men should coach women. Men should coach men. That's how it's going to be. Because if you hug me, if I'm a good player, let me tell you one thing. If a good player now score maybe 3 goals, hat-trick, you will just see that the coach will now, hey, how do I express my appreciation? By the time you know it, I am telling you, appointment is booked. So I don't support it. And
all right.
It won't work, it will not work.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's get things real. We've seen where managers will coach a female side, goes to hug his players, but nothing happens. So why are we stigmatizing this? Why are we stigmatizing
because
this?
It has nothing to do with the hugging. But then one of the messages I read, which I think is a very valid point, was from Val from Abba. He talked about how from cradle you've had men coaching you. It will be difficult. This is more psychology. We come right now, and this is the truth. I am not in support of it, but we in Africa, we have sort of there are quite a number of men with sort of a dominating mindset.
Yeah.
Where they feel it is difficult to, of course, I'm not going to take orders from a female. I'm not going to do that. And there are just so much things to football. Football is not your everyday job. Football is not work. Football is not school. Football is a way of life for these guys. These guys are family. There's a bond that is shared between the both of them. And it might be difficult. That's just my issue.
Let me just say something. Add to what Val said. You know when Val said from cradle you've been coached by a man, that's why I said it's not, this is just the final output. There are things that happen. Coach walks in, it's a family. Dressing room, there are bedrooms and everything. It's a family. So from that childhood you're used to doing this. You understand? You don't go and dress up when the coach is coming. If it's talking, if it's just a towel, you have to just use to cover here. It's done. That before Cristiano Ronaldo left Man U, there's one other thing he did. It's not that issue is killing me. Not that was the first time he was doing an interview with this former Anderson. I think it was Nani that also walked in. I've seen Chelsea, their backroom, this and that so many times. Drogba to come in almost naked. I think it's a normal thing. And because you've grown up like in a men's circle, you don't just break that line. When people are calling out, I'm not even talking about the hall. Those things are nothing. But as the match finishes now, you change jerseys. In Europe, you change jerseys. You go and you drop the other one. You go and have your bag. You don't have your bag and make up and come out. As you rush, you take a shower.
Who's the woman I'm making up when they want to come
I'm not saying you go and have your bag and you just rush, have your bag, and the manager is talking and you're there dressing up. It's not. That's why I said it's not the hall. People are talking about hall. It's not it. So many things happen. Too many things happen.
I feel it's more about psychology. Like, let's be realistic. Most younger managers these days, even from time like in their early 30s, that are coaching this and the well-established clubs, they also have issues of ego. Older players thinking that they're not good enough. Always have that issues. When you have an older lady, let's say in her 50s or her 60s, I've seen it all. When it comes to football and professionalism, she doesn't care about your nakedness. Go and keep it in your house. She just wants to come there and do her job. So it's about the mentality and the professionalism and the experience of that person. It's a good example, Carlo Ancelotti, even though he's coaching a lady, that he's in his 60s, for crying out loud. What do you care about these young girls? You have seen it all over and over again. Then imagine a lady in her 60s, the manager of Chelsea. So do you think she will care about a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old Mason
It's not about whether she cares.
It's about the
player.
It's halftime in the game.
No, it's not about whether she cares. She's
all right,
guys. You're a professional. You're not looking at mother-father relationship here.
That's what you're saying, because you said football is like a family.
All right, guys. Let's get to it's halftime in the game involving Liverpool and AFC Bournemouth. Liverpool have taken the lead. It's 2-1 right now in favor of Liverpool as we speak. But guys, you saw the first half. What has changed so far for Liverpool?
Well, at point in time, Bournemouth, they were dominating. They were playing well from the wings. I did see that eventually what Priya was talking about, the fact that they were playing from the wings, but also from the middle. And it seemed like nothing was working perfectly for Liverpool. Their midfield, I said it again, Jordan Henderson, his absence is really, really felt in that Liverpool's midfield. And also Virgil van Dijk as well as Joe Gomez. They are not doing enough these days. I tell you, this is the same Virgil van Dijk that was nominated for Ballon d'Or. I mean, a lot of people thought he was going to win it and so many other things. It's not just been the same Liverpool, but after the first 25 minutes, I think Liverpool got their heads back into the game and they were pouncing on the counter-attack. You want to say both goals came from something somewhat like mistakes from Bournemouth, and Liverpool you don't make such
Utilize,
mistakes, they always capitalize on these mistakes, and that is why they are actually professionals, and that is why they are good players, and that is why they are where they are. Because you look at most of these results that they've gotten, it just took a little mistake and they pounced on it, and that's what's working for Liverpool. But second half, I tell you, it is still a very open game. Bournemouth can come in the second half. We've seen Eddie Howe, the manager of Bournemouth. He's a dynamic manager. He can come in the second half and do something new, as well as Jurgen Klopp also try to get more goals. But it's been good for Liverpool and also for Bournemouth. I think they should be impressed with themselves, and I feel they have what it takes to still get at least a goal. But I see Liverpool winning.
Priya, what would you change in this Bournemouth side coming out for the second half?
I think it's about mentality. They're playing too much at the back, and you tend to make mistakes because Liverpool always play the high pressing. They always want to mark you in your half. So I think the likes of Mane and Salah, they are actually pressing the Bournemouth central defense and the back line basically. So I think they should be more careful playing at the back, playing the ball behind. I think they should push the ball more forward so that to avoid those mistakes, because when you make mistake, definitely these big teams, the top 4, top 6 will always punish you. So I think they should reduce their mistakes at the back line.
All right, Timmy, what would you change in this Liverpool side coming through for the second half?
The Liverpool side or the Bournemouth side?
He spoke for Bournemouth, you Liverpool.
They managed to obtain a 1-0 deficit. I think they've done absolutely well. They've not done anything wrong. It's just that the approach that Bournemouth used took them by surprise. Bournemouth now shot themselves into foot. I remember I said before they were bypassing the midfield. Suddenly they wanted to play out from the back. Twice they wanted to play out from the back. The first time Mane pounced on it. The second time Van Dijk pressed forward, pounced on it, and set the ball rolling for Mane to score. Liverpool have been spot on so far. They do what Liverpool of club actually does. You understand? They've not done anything extra. Bournemouth just shot themselves in the foot. It's as simple as that.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines and get your thought. Phone lines are 0817 00951 on 0810 9510951 for WhatsApp and text message portal is 0701 933 9962. We've talked a lot about what you think, what's your opinion on women coaching a male national team, or not just national, a men club team as well. What's your opinion? Do you think if Liverpool gets to win the title, will you remember it as a weak league or as a brilliant Liverpool side? And every other thing, do you think the EFL Cup should be scrapped? What is your opinion on that? Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
My name is Destiny.
All right, Destiny, welcome to the show.
Very, 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 very wrong. You did very, very wrong.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thought on the show. It's not very, 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 very wrong. I don't see the angle you guys are bringing it from. But let's go back to the phone lines. You can keep your calls coming through. We'll get them as they come before we get to other matters, because we have a lot to talk about here on the show. Phone lines are 0817 00951. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you. All right. He isn't ready for us. We asked the question: how many managers have won the Premier League from the year 2000 to the FA Cup, rather, from year 2000 to 2019? Because this year we haven't seen a winner just yet. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm James calling from Inagua.
All right, James, go on with your thoughts.
Yeah, concerning a woman coaching a male team, it's not possible now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can a woman go and coach players like Balotelli or Carlos Tevez?
Why can't she?
What would she tell her? Tell him.
What the male coaches are telling them?
A woman cannot go and coach players.
Okay. Thank you very much for your thought. Hello, good afternoon. We lost that call. You can keep your calls coming through, and we'll be taking them as they come. Victor, do we have any messages coming in at the moment?
No.
We don't. You can text us on 0701933 9962. Let's take one call. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Name where you're calling us from?
Yes, Augustine calling from Port.
All right, go on with your thoughts.
Please, I'm not in support of a woman to coach a man.
Okay.
Because if that kind to happen, we need to invite this kid to come and sing. This is not temptation, the little competition. Because the temptation will happen to that place. I know there is supposed to be a woman to go to a man, please.
All right.
I'm not sure it will not work. Because we see some men that when they are playing ball, when they want to hug their coach, John Thomas will rise up.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. We'll be coming back to get your thoughts on the show and head to other matters. But for now, let's go pay some bills. And when we come back, we'll be giving you everything you need to know.
So, babe, how was your day?
Well, I went cycling, went shopping for groceries, had a quick business meeting, cooked for the week, picked up the kids from school.
You did all these? Just today?
Yep.
How?
I had my Hollandia yogurt. It nourishes and keeps me going all day.
No matter how your day goes, and no matter what you need to get done, grab a pack of Hollandia yogurt. Hollandia yogurt, nourishing goodness to keep you going.
Hollandia.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Welcome back. This is still today's Sports Live, the marathon edition, where we'll talk everything European football. The guys are still talking behind the scenes, but I pay no mind to them. They are still complaining. If a woman did that, a woman will coach one day, people will see it. Meanwhile, let's go talk other matters. Today,
that team will be relegated.
Arsenal's player Eric Aubameyang says his reputation as a top striker does not depend on winning trophies. Aubameyang, the Premier League's joint top goal scorer with 17 goals this term, will have just 1 year to run on his contract come the summer and is yet to win silverware since joining the club in January 2018. Mikel Arteta spoke this week of his wish to keep the 30-year-old under any circumstances, but with Arsenal facing an uphill battle to make next season's Champions League, their captain's future is uncertain. Speaking to Soccer Saturday, he said, "I'm a striker and so I will defend my side. I don't think you need trophies to be a top striker. Of course, it can help you, but we've seen a lot of great players that didn't win trophies, but we respect them because of their quality. You don't need to win trophies, but if you win it, it's better." The FA Cup represents this season's last chance for Aubameyang to secure his first trophy in England, and he is yet to win a league title in his career, despite previously spending more than 4 years at Borussia Dortmund in Germany. Arsenal reached the Europa League final last year, but saw their chances of going one better this season ended by Olympiacos in the round of 32, the Greek champions progressing on away goals rule. With 11 games to go this season, Champions League qualification is still a plausible target, and Arsenal are currently 8th point behind 4th place Chelsea with a game in hand. Quoting Aubameyang said, "I think it's possible. Everything is possible," Aubameyang said. "Last season, we were 10 points down from the top 4, and we came back at the end, and we were really close, but I think we can do it." Ahead of the clash against West Ham today, Arsenal captain Aubameyang insists that the Gunners are under pressure to win every game as it is.
We have more pressure, so it's gonna be maybe tough, but I like this kind of pressure because you know that now you have to win every game, and it's gonna be hard, but I'm happy to play this type of games.
Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta agreed that with the captain saying Arsenal must win the remainder of the games to stand a chance to qualify for the Champions League.
As a club, we have to fight for the Champions League, but we have to go game by game. It changed a lot of things in the last 2 months. Let's go game by game. Let's try to beat West Ham first and we'll be closer. That's all we can control because at the moment, it's not in our hands, it's in the opponent's hands. And they have to fail and we have to win games and then we'll have a chance.
West Ham coach David Moyes said that his side can pose a threat to any team with the way they play.
Recently, the way we've played gives us the belief that we think that we can play well. We think we can cause opposition problems. At the moment, we're in a good period. We think we can score. So we'll try and take all those positives into the game and get something from it.
Meanwhile, Jose Mourinho does not expect Tottenham to discipline Eric Dyer for his confrontation with supporter in the stand. Dyer could face FA action after attempting to get to one fan in particular, said to have been involved in his spat with his brother after the midweek FA Cup defeat to Norwich. On Wednesday, the Spurs head coach said he would not support club discipline against Dyer after defending his actions, although branding them unprofessional, and suggested the club would not be doing so ahead of Saturday's trip to Burnley. Mourinho had this to say of the Tottenham team ahead of the Burnley game.
Everybody told me the ones that they feel they need the rest, they didn't ask me for a rest. They told me I am ready to do or to try to do anything you need from me, and then I have to process the and I have to try to find a balance and to try to find a team with possibilities to win both matches.
All right, the second half of the hours already started with Liverpool. They are leading 2-1 over AFC Burnley. While by 4 o'clock, Arsenal will take on West Ham United. Crystal Palace will do battle with Watford. Sheffield United will take on Norwich City. Southampton will do battle with Newcastle United, while Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Brighton and Hove Albion. And by 6:30, Burnley will do battle with Tottenham Hotspur. Tomorrow we'll see Chelsea play host to Everton, while the Manchester Derby comes up by 5:30 with Manchester United hosting the Citizens. And Monday we'll see Leicester play host to Aston Villa. These are the fixtures for you today. But guys, let's go back to Arsenal. Can the Gunners finish the season strongly and catch their London rivals for a place in the Champions League?
Nope, it's not possible. Not this season, and possibly next season, because I think Arteta is actually doing a great job in that Arsenal squad. But it's already too late. It's too late because there's a lot of teams that are actually ahead of them and competing for that same place. I think they can still fight, but it's not possible for this season. I think it should be next season because they still have areas to strengthen, especially in the middle of the pack.
Just middle defense as well.
And defense line too. So they have a lot to do in that team. It's still a work in progress. I think some couple of steps that Arteta has done, you will know that you know his direction, you know the kind of play he wants. He has already created that idea, and also the aspect of there's this name Timmy always called the Arsenal team belly.
They have a soft belly.
Soft belly, thank you. They don't have that winning mentality.
They don't have the toughness.
They don't have that toughness. They don't have that fighting spirit, and it's actually changing these days with Arteta in charge of the team. So let's see what he will do. Let's see the signings with players he bring into that Arsenal squad and to create a team depth. Then let's see for next season if they can actually compete. And there'll be a problem for the likes of Aubameyang. He's 30. Let's leave out what he's saying. I think he'll want to win trophies. No player in his 30 will not prefer getting at least a Premier League title, a league title, and a cup competition, especially in Europe. So he will definitely want to win and become frustrated, and that's one of his reasons for trying to leave the club. So I think they should try and possible to persuade him to stay, some other key players, then try for next season. But there's a possibility for them to qualify for Champions League next season. It's not this season.
What I made of that Arsenal situation, just while you were quoting Aubameyang, when he talked about that there are some great players who never won a trophy.
He didn't mention any.
He didn't mention any, but I think I know of just one or two. But then there are.
Can you just mention? Don't do Aubameyang to you mention.
Please. Antonio Di Natale.
Di Natale.
He never won a trophy.
Di Natale is a great player.
That's what I'm heading. That's what I'm heading.
He's not a great player.
Would you consider those players great? I don't think so. One of the ways you know a great player is by
trophies.
Not just your individual performances, but your trophies. Yes, Di Natale did score.
Not a great player.
Di Natale was a late bloomer. I know he started playing at the age of 25. That's when he got his first top flight debut. Between 25 and 30, he scored not so many goals, but from 31 to like 35, this guy was scoring goals like it was for fun. I think got close to 120 goals. So Aubameyang coming out to say there are some great players who never won a trophy. There are no great players who never won a trophy. For those that didn't win a trophy, there will always be arguments about how great they were. Like I just said,
and if you made mention of players,
is not a great player. See, Di Natale will quarrel you if you call him a great player. He's not a great player. He's not. He's a late bloomer yet, but he's not a great player.
Like a typical example, you could say Totti.
He won
the league and he did well in the World Cup for Italy when he comes in.
There's another player.
Yeah.
No, he was a starter in the World Cup. He started ahead of Di Canio. Paulo, this former Juventus great. Brings his song. What's his name? Paulo something. I've forgotten his name. His name will come back to my head. He started it. He won the World Cup. Won the league.
You can say that. So I think you need to win.
Every great player wins. Let me just tell you something. Aubameyang is lying. He is lying. Aubameyang is 30. He played 4 seasons for Borussia Dortmund. Do you know the worst part? Before he came to Dortmund, they were actually winning the league.
Trophies.
You understand? Yes. He came to replace Lewandowski. All of a sudden, Bayern started winning, and they've never looked back. He's never won even Concom before. He played for AC Milan. He didn't get to kick a ball for AC Milan officially. Went to Rennes. From Rennes, got the breakthrough. And remember when he signed for Dortmund? Marco Rose famously made a statement that he never even heard his name before he was signed, like he was an unknown. But I saw him at Rennes. He was actually doing very, very well. One of like, okay, never gave him a chance because but he was really, really pacey. He scored some outstanding goals in the French league. He went to Dortmund, the second best team in Germany. Never got to win a trophy. Then he spent 4 seasons there. You've gone to Arsenal again. In quote, a big club also. You've never won anything. You're 30. Clubs like Real Madrid have knocked the door over time for you. Big clubs have still knocking the door. Barcelona are rumored to even knock the door for you. And you're telling me that great player, who? Please don't call Donatelli again. He's never been a great player.
All right. Let's look at we didn't talk about this during the week, the incident that happened involving Eric Dyer, the Tottenham player. But guys, was there wrong to have confronted the supporter?
He was not professional, and the manager confirmed it. Mourinho said it that what he did wasn't professional in any way, but he
wasn't wrong. What he did also.
Yeah, that's what Mourinho said.
And that is my next line. Just because they are professionals.
Before they
were professionals, they were humans. They have emotions. There is a limit to what anybody can take. Some persons can say, I can take racism today. Some persons can say, I cannot take racism today if you don't bring that to me. So you saying because he wasn't a professional, like he came out before now, they said that they were actually, he threatened his brother, his family in that angle. That was the angle they took it from. So you say you're not a professional, then someone came to threaten your family to do something drastic to your family and you confronted that person. Would that be unprofessional for you?
Yeah, it's unprofessional. That's the truth. It's unprofessional, but it's human. Just imagine we're right here on air and someone calls in and starts firing insults. And I decide to insult back. And as the person says, you are mad, I replied the person to you too, you are this one. It's not professional, but then when you look at it, it's somehow human. The fact that he wants to respond. So for Eric Dyer, I don't think it was professional in any way as a player of Tottenham Hotspur, but as a human being, he would want to react. Every single person would want to protect their family and having your family being threatened by fans, by supporters, it made no sense.
Ojo Igalo retired just because of that, because he felt his family were being threatened almost all the time.
That's the professional thing to do.
So Ojo should retire because his family.
If you follow that interview, Mourinho made some statement to tell you. I wasn't shocked that he said the club will not take any action against you. First of all, that particular place where that insult came from, it should be completely for 100 people that are 100% loyal to Spurs. And that particular portion leads from the dressing room. So you have people that are loyal to the club, 1,000%. I should be the people occupying that spot. Dyer's family, they were there. And somebody not only directed insult at Dyer, constantly. Now enter Dyer's family. Dyer's brother was threatening Dyer's brother's life. Dyer had to act. Now, people don't talk to fans. We always like to be like, I don't want to...
And that's the next question.
No, let me just clear.
The question is, what should be done to fans? Shouldn't fans face sanctions for not always doing this to people? Because they are humans.
It starts with the club. There are some portions of the stadium that it should be people that you know that should occupy that portion. Patrice Evra was kicked out from Marseille after he left Juventus because a fan took it upon himself to go to a training ground and haul insult at Evra. Evra couldn't hold it again. He attacked the fan. Marseille cancelled his contract. He went to West Ham. His career ended from there. This French guy, one of the great former Man U guy, was suspended for almost a year. Cantona. He couldn't take it again. He scissors kicked the guy. Late Marc Vivenfou was playing for West Ham. A fan not only insulted him, ran in and tried to drag off the jersey from him and said Marc Vivenfou wasn't doing enough to play for West Ham. It shattered his career in England. He had to go back to France. You understand? Fans take things too far. Sometimes you might be having a bad day. Sometimes it's not just today. If you play football, sometimes it's not everything you try doesn't just come up. But somebody will attack you, attack your family. If we give them the leeway, then we should allow racism. We should allow people to insult our family, to allow this. We should just call it the way it is. And I like what Mourinho did. He said as a professional, it's like an unprofessional act. But sometimes France cross the line over and over and over again. And we should put a stop to it.
Okay.
I feel it happened similarly to one of the Nigerian midfielder at the South African World Cup that he got that red card.
It's even currently happening to Daniel Akpe.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think football is, first of all, it's an emotional sport because people always want to put in that emotion, that personal attachment they have with the club, especially in England where you know that those clubs are traditional clubs. You always know that your team you want your team to always win, which is impossible. Even the Liverpool team now, we're seeing them struggle. As humans, it's not possible for you to be doing it week in, week out. There's sometimes you definitely need to struggle so you can learn and improve on yourself. So I think some fans are actually taking it overboard, but that's notwithstanding, players need to control their emotions. We have seen greater things happen to players.
Players need to control their emotions. Now let's take this as an example.
You're a role model. You're a role model to different people all over the world.
Even there's a limit to everything. We know that we've established that fact.
Yes,
and they are
true.
humans. No matter how you want to paint this, you can't always be that perfect. Nobody is perfect in this world. Now let's use this instance as an example where before, I think it was late last year, when two bikers attacked Ozil and Kolasinac was trying to steal something from them. So they were if they were professionals, they wouldn't have defended their rights.
That's quite different. That's a criminal act. That's not in the field of play. That's a criminal act. I think Kolasinac actually attacked the
he chased them off.
Those are criminals. That's a different thing altogether. We're talking about the play, like what happened to
be it on the field of play or off it.
We cannot actually tell if that was as a result of Ozil not performing well at Arsenal. We can't tell. Maybe just people trying to robbery incidents basically. So I think it's controlling yourself when you're in that arena. There's a lot of cameras actually looking at you. There are people that are learning from you.
Okay.
Children are watching.
See, before let me tell you, when Kanu was playing for Arsenal, it was so bad. As in, Kanu was in a train, and people were making songs about why he didn't die from his heart attack, from his heart condition. And these are Arsenal fans, and you're telling me I'll sit. If we should draw line, there are ways you correct people.
No, it
was so bad. That same song moved from the train to Arsenal, the old hybrid. And people, when he has a bad day, people sing that song. Well, let's call it the way it is.
But you're right.
Listen. Eric Cantona would have missed his time. He never played in the World Cup. You know, that's 1 year ban plus. Francis Trevor lost his career. Matt Verenfo, Gary Speed, we see players committing suicide, depressed. Sometimes you don't know what's going. The German goalkeeper was his second choice goalkeeper. He ran into train and caught it up. You know what's going through his head. You don't know people hold insults as in insults. People take your family and run them down. People wish you dead. People say this thing you had, you have broken your leg. And these are people you're playing for and you're killing yourself for. Yes, they're paying you. Yes, you can say it's not professional, but my family, they are there. And you're running, you've insulted me throughout 90 minutes. It's not enough. Then you took it upon my brother because you know he's my brother.
No, we can't defend that, but
Mourinho said it. That it's the right thing to do, but it wasn't the professional thing to do.
Thank goodness he brought up the Kanu Nwankwo case. He's still a legend in Arsenal and respected by Arsenal followers all over the world. If he
keep that respect when you think that I should have died from the heart defect I have.
If he acted then what would have been Kanu's career? Possibly would have left earlier. Let's look at it towards that direction.
I think my take on this has to be that the AFA need to come up with something. Not just the AFA, FIFA generally have got to come up with a rule to put this to the barest minimum, because fans are beginning to become unbearable. There are things that you can do to discipline. Like I keep saying, no matter how you want to look at it, you being a professional or not, nobody can be that perfect. You cannot be perfect. We have emotions, and our emotions will one way or the other overtake can becloud our reasoning. Sometimes it happens, just like that fan, because emotion took over his reasoning. So that is the way.
You know why it's even worse? You know why it was worse for Dyer? It was a sports fan. If it's like an opposing fan, you're like, okay, they're just dissing you. That one, like, okay, we are beating you and you're dissing me. You know, Asmir Begovic, the former Chelsea keeper, the former Bournemouth keeper, now in AC Milan, he said he doesn't go to the stadium, especially in England, to see games. He doesn't take his kids. because of the amount, the volume of insults thrown in the stadium.
Yeah.
You can watch a match, you can do banter, but when you wish somebody dead, no.
What?
That's
what a save!
That's a save.
What a save! I tell you,
Milner.
James Milner just did almost the impossible. Of course, a Bournemouth player lobbed the ball over Adrian, and it took James Milner to make a save. Or did he cross the line? Not at all.
It should be penalty. See, watch. Not this clearance. So the Adrian and Fraser, the clash between Adrian and Fraser.
That was impressive from James Milner. But Doka, still talking about this issue, I think at this point in time, I was wondering why exactly was that person not arrested or something.
Yeah.
That's where the FA has got to look into. That's where the stadium officials, the clubs themselves have got to look into.
All those stewards.
Instead, the stewards as well. Instead of the players to react, you get this person, just chase them out of the stadium. Well, you can, of course, you give them a live ban from the stadium. And then, if possible, you arrest them. Because the fact was, Eric Dyer saw the person. He was going to meet the person. He knew who the person was. So this was not a situation where, most times we see when they say racist chant that they don't know who it was. They just knew that it was coming from this section of the audience and blah, blah, blah. He knew who the person was. If you know who that person is, why exactly can't the stadium officials, why can't the stewards fish out that person and let the person be prosecuted? Because it makes completely no sense that you can't stop at, I think because he missed the penalty. That was where
he didn't even miss the penalty.
So you just started insulting him, and it wasn't enough. You took the insult to his family. It makes completely no sense. Yes, I told you that it was unprofessional of Dyer to have done it, but I can understand why he did it. As well as for also Mourinho to understand, and Tottenham did not say anything. They couldn't even punish him. The FA has not even come out to also punish him as well.
But they're still investigating.
They're still investigating because in the real sense, you want to say it is understood. This is what this guy did. I think eventually the FA will punish him. But the FA have also got to find a way to not to give more punishment, because at this moment, what you're simply doing is, if they punish Dyer, that fan wins, because nothing happens to him. He's going to come into the next game. He's going to stay at that same position of the
and insult
another player and do it yet again, and then he goes home free again. I think Tottenham themselves, they've got to. These stewards have got to be working, and they've just have to find a way to stop this, because if not, we're going to be seeing more situations. We're going to be seeing more situations of fans insulting players, racist chants, and all. It makes completely no sense.
All right, let's preview games tomorrow, the big ones. Tomorrow where Manchester United will be hosting Manchester City. Timmy, let me come to you. Will Manchester City, that's Pep Guardiola, will he rotate his team for the Manchester derby?
He has to. He has to rotate. What does it stand to gain? Liverpool are home and dry in the league already. You went away and you beat Real Madrid. You understand? You just have to rotate. Kevin De Bruyne might not even play because he's 50-50. He's a doubt.
Yes, still checking.
There's some key players you just have to. You have to just relax with Laporte. Play Bravo. Play. You have to. It's not a game he needs to win. They are in a good position on the league. Like, they might not even play the Champions League if their appeal doesn't work in their favor. It doesn't need to play his best 11. Absolutely not. Play Sane, play players coming back from injury, lose, no problem. Give a Gallo a chance to score. Better.
Well, that playing of those players, wouldn't it give a Manchester the reason to think that they are back, they are good where they are, without rotation? Wouldn't it give Manchester the reason to say, okay, we're better than you no matter what? We're back.
This is me. Pep Guardiola would not change his squad. Pep Guardiola, last season, I kept on wondering how exactly was Pep doing this. Every single game we saw, and that was how they won the domestic treble. We saw FA Cup ties, Carabao Cup ties, where you would expect that I think it was Northampton Town that they were playing, and he had the full
11,
full squad that would do the business against the Chelsea. There was no, even on the bench, there was no academy player coming in or no fringe player. Every single player was the normal set of players that you see, and this is the Manchester derby we're talking about. There are some things are more than the way we see. There's more than what meets the eye.
This is bragging rights, man.
It's about the bragging rights.
Yeah.
Manchester United won them in their home stadium twice. first of all in the Carabao Cup and also in the Premier League. You think they would not want to replicate the same thing in the Old Trafford?
Okay.
They are going to give Guardiola will play his full team.
Okay.
They will find a way to rest and prepare for the game against Real Madrid. But I know this for sure. Guardiola will every single player will play the way they are supposed to play, and they would give their all because they are playing against a Manchester United, and it is the Manchester derby. It is more than just the 3 points. It's about the bragging rights.
And let's stick with Manchester United.
No.
Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer close to success with this United side?
Not now, not for now. I think they are still a work in progress. I would say that they are still growing.
Okay.
There's that synergy. He has gotten some couple of players he wanted. He wanted a striker, a box striker, he got that. He wanted a creative midfielder, he also got that. So I think they are a work in progress. Therefore, Man City, you made mention of Man City, I think it's about 12 and dozen. Manchester City 25 team can beat any team. Sané and Bernardo Silva is the same thing. It's just about fitness. Go to the striker, Gabriel Jesus can also give you a 70 if Aguero can give you a 80. So I think the entire team is quite good. With the except Bravo, but every other player there in
Bravo is
why you accepting Bravo?
Bravo is actually
when it comes to league, I don't know what's happening to that guy, especially when he came to Manchester City. He has been struggling. But you cannot take anything away from that Manchester City side. Anybody can come here and do the damage, including Zinchenko. Then for Man United, this game against Man City should just be like a game they need to fight for. They want that Champions League position, that fourth place, so they could do their best to actually see if they could get maximum points, especially against the big sides, because you know Chelsea still have those sides to play. Chelsea have to play Manchester City and other bigger teams. I think they still need to play Liverpool. So this kind of game is a game you actually need to get a point or 3 points. So I think Manchester United should bring their all to that game. Then for Man City, they have nothing to lose, but it will not still stop Pep Guardiola from releasing his cannon against Manchester United, because every player is quite good in that team.
All right, Carlo Ancelotti, he's going back to Chelsea. To Chelsea. He's going to take his Everton side to Chelsea. And let me go. Who will I go to now? Who is the neutral being here? Victor, you're the neutral one here. Does Frank Lampard deserve more credit for work at Chelsea? Are you really okay?
There's no neutral.
It's not neutral. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, let me just stick with you. Looking at how he managed, it has that just problem
just
right
talk
now.
with the lesser devil.
So what was the Azadios problem?
Coming into a Chelsea side that we were facing a ban, he struggled with them. He managed to bring in. He managed to field, those.
He didn't sign anyone when the ban was uplifted.
Young players.
Does he deserve more credit? Frankly speaking, I don't think so. I don't think he does. Okay. I've not seen anything that Lampard has done that for me is extraordinary, out of this world. A lot of linking it to Gennaro Roy. A lot of persons, Nigerians, will say Gennaro Roy has not done anything different from the Super Eagles, although that's a lot of argument. But then I've not seen anything from Frank Lampard. Yes, he has brought about the unveiling of some talent, but then it looks like we're not even getting to hear about them anymore. Mason Mount, at a point in time at the start of the season, it was all about Mason Mount. It was all about Tammy Abraham. What's happening to these guys now? Yes, Abraham is injured. What's happening to Mason Mount? I don't think he deserves credit for. There's no work. There's no successful work going on at Chelsea, and that's the problem. They look like a team without vision. You cannot tell what Chelsea wants. Do they want to win the Champions League? Are they gunning to win the FA Cup? Do they even want a top 4 finish? Because the way they play, sometimes you wonder, okay, they're not playing like a team that wants to finish the season top 4. These past few games, who has been getting them the goals? A certain Marcos Alonso, Antonio Rudiger. These are defenders, players that play at the back line. They're not the ones doing well for Chelsea. I don't think Frank Lampard has done anything to praise him more than he's regarded. He's just been an average manager in a big club.
See why I said the league this season is not competitive. If you check the log, you see how many Chelsea has lost close to 7 or 8 games already. That's the fourth position. Yeah. That's why I said the league this season, it's not competitive. Chelsea on a normal Chelsea season, with the way other teams would have struggled, they would have been neck to neck with the Liverpool team. How many games had City lost this season already? How many games have Leicester? A particular time Leicester were just flying. Yeah. Suddenly, they got injured and they crashed again. Now the point within them and Chelsea, I think is 4 or 5 points. 5 points between them and Chelsea. Lampard started well. everything about Lampard changed when we had the opportunity of getting one decent goal scorer. If Chelsea was the one that managed to pull the coup, because right now I'll call it a coup, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did to bring in Igalo, it would have been a completely different story. But I've said it over and over and over again. I was watching the game between Chelsea and Man U, and Man U were beating Chelsea 2-0. Chelsea scored 2 goals, they disqualified, but let's leave the goals, let's leave the VAR. And I was just looking at it like, this man had the whole of January. And we fought for that ban to be upturned. Not as if we sat down and they just gave it to us in platter of gold. We actually fought. Edison Cavani came outside and told the world he wants to leave Paris. And you did not fight. Just meeting by June will be a free agent. Put the money, knock the doors. You looked at Osimhen for one brief second and he was there. This boy was up. Even the coach actually gave him time. Coach was actually indirectly begging Chelsea to give him time. Because he's stuck, he put all his eggs in an Abraham basket that's so leaky.
Very poor.
That's basket. Where we are. Now you have Alonso that January was supposed to go. Alonso was supposed to leave Chelsea January. You have Rudiger that just came back from how many months injury and the one's getting the goals for you. Then of all people to pick quarrel with, you decided to pick quarrel with Williams. I beg.
Okay, I wouldn't be here tomorrow when this will happen, when the games will go down. So it's time for me to hear your predictions for the games involving Manchester United and Manchester City and Everton, Chelsea.
Man U, Man City. I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1 or 2-2. It's going to end in a draw.
Everton, Chelsea.
Everton, Chelsea. Chelsea would win by 2-1. I feel like Dominic Calvert-Lewin will score again. Is February's man on fire?
All right, for you.
Manchester City, Man United. That's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be ending a draw. Then for Everton, Chelsea, I think it's also going to be a draw.
All of you just gone with draw soup today, Timmy.
I think Man City Man U match has to be a draw. It has to be a draw. And I'm saying this as a Chelsea fan. If you don't like Amon and Liverpool,
Chelsea
will definitely win. Yeah, I think that's Chelsea will definitely win because this is the time that he'll pick a starting 11 that he has no choice because of the injuries. Chelsea will win.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines and get your thoughts. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Moses. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, one with your thoughts.
Yeah, I think VRO has helped Liverpool. So even if they win the league, I won't get carried away. They did not do anything and honor. They just like last season. They lose only one game last season. They could not win the league.
Okay, thank you.
I believe Man City is going to.
Okay, Man City win Manchester United. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Line.
Yeah, good afternoon, Lucas. I'm a very person there.
Good afternoon to you.
Let me start this way.
Your name and where you're calling us from, you didn't tell us.
Okay, my name is Rodney. I'm calling from Bibo.
All right, good. Then go on with your thoughts.
Man City and Man U.
Man
City is winning Man U 2-1 or 3-1.
Okay.
Then for a female to coach
a male team.
I don't think it is all that good.
Okay.
And for a man to coach a female club, I think there should be a kind of restrictions, like just like you take a story if you are living with your younger brother also in the house. There are do's and don'ts. You have your own personal private time, and she also know when to visit the inner room.
Okay.
If in the case of a dressing room, there should be a decision where maybe if the people are dressing or want to change also, there should be a decision to the main coach when to visit and when not to visit.
All right.
That's my suggestion.
Thank you so much for your suggestions. You can bring your calls through to us and we'll be taking them as they come. But in the meantime, okay, let's take this caller and then move on to other matters. Hello, good afternoon.
Lucas.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
To call back.
All right, Ethel, what were your thoughts?
That match is 2-1.
Okay, both Manchester United.
Yeah, Chelsea is beating Everton by 2-1.
All right, Ethel, saying.
Manchester City is beating Man U by 2-1.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live. Hello. All right, that's a quiet caller that right there. But let's go to other matters and straight to the La Liga, where Barcelona and Argentine superstar Lionel Messi is no longer a phenomenon, as Hugo Gatti criticized the six-time Ballon d'Or winner. Messi scored 4 goals in a 5-0 La Liga rout of Eibar last month, but the Barca captain has failed to find the back of the net in 6 of his past 7 matches. The 32-year-old attacker struggled to make an impact in the 2-0 El Clasico defeat to Real Madrid last time out, and the former Argentine goalkeeper Gatti took aim at Messi, quoting him. He said, "I don't care if they criticize me in Argentina." Gatti said, "I'm very Argentinian, and Messi is a phenomenon, but he is not a phenomenon now. They treat him wrong because they big him up and treat him wrong. He gets used to it and works more on the pitch. He has to be better. Cristiano Ronaldo and him are the 2 best. Messi has to be better. He's got used to playing at a weary rhythm, working, and those that know football think the same. Take off, kid. You have to play well. When there is a player like Messi, like it was with Maradona and Pele, and his teammates always give the ball to him to win the games, they spoil the team and they don't put everything they have into it. The team gets used to having him, giving him the ball, and not anyone else. Messi has scored 18 La Liga goals for Barcelona this season and 23 across all competitions. Meanwhile, Barcelona midfielder Arthur will miss Saturday's La Liga match with Real Sociedad due to an ankle injury. The champions confirmed on Friday that Arthur has begun treatment in the problem, which could reportedly keep him sidelined for up to 3 weeks. The news is a blow to Barca coach Quique Setién, who is already without Luis Suarez, Ousmane Dembele, and Sergio Roberto for the visit of Real Sociedad. Youngsters Ricky Puig and Alex Collado have been called up to the 18-man squad for the meeting at Camp Nou. Also, could now be a doubt for Barca's Champions League last 16 clash with Napoli on March 18, with the first leg in Italy having finished 1-1. Meanwhile, a game was played yesterday in the Spanish La Liga where Deportivo Alaves shared the spoils with Valencia. They played out 1-1 draw. Today we see already that game, I think it's already in the second half, where Eibar and Mallorca are already playing. Atletico Madrid will take on Sevilla later by 4 o'clock. Barcelona will do battle with Real Sociedad by 6:30, while Getafe will do battle with Celta Vigo. That is by 9 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll see Osasuna up against Espanyol. Real Valladolid will do battle with Athletic Bilbao. Levante are up against Granada. Villarreal will do battle with Leganés. And Real Betis will take on Real Madrid. That is going to be coming up by 9 o'clock. Timmy, as a Messi fan, do you agree with Gatti?
Absolutely not. The man has played how many games? 33 games this season, Abi. He scored 23 games, 23 goals already. He's made 17 assists. Problem with Messi and Ronaldo is like they've raised the bar so high that when there's like a blip, people just think all of a sudden. Now you were reading the stat, you said in 6 games he scored just 1. In that 6 games, he's provided 7 assists. He scored 4 goals already in a single match. He's still the top scorer in the Spanish La Liga as we speak.
That's a weak competition, and if that's the case.
It is not a weak competition. And the man is only playing because Suarez is not fit, Dembele is not fit. The man has been carrying a thigh injury all through the season. He started the season injured, so he didn't start fighting. He didn't have any preseason at all. He started missing. He missed the first 4 games. Came back, got injured again, went off, came up. As we speak, he's not even playing up to 100%, and the coach knows it. The guy has a thigh injury. The only reason he's doing 90 minutes because there's no Suarez, there's no Dembele. You can't trust Ansu Fati to get the job going for you. Braithwaite just came into the fold and is not acclimatized to Barcelona way, and that's just the simple truth. Now, Argentines tend to rush to criticize Messi.
Okay,
the man does everything he's supposed to do. He's not getting younger. He's 32. He'll be 33 very time soon. What do you want him to do? He delivers good when he needs to. Other players should just step their game up.
Okay.
Simple as it.
It's about the board of Barcelona. Remember the good old days of when they had that trio, Henry, Eto'o, and Messi. You saw the magic they did. It came to the point of Suarez, Messi, and Neymar. And we saw what they did to the achievements. So I think the dependency on Messi is too much in Barcelona. Other players are sleeping, basically. It happened to Chelsea. There's this point in time in Chelsea when everybody was just depending on Kante to do the magic. Kante and Hazard. If they don't play, then Chelsea will sleep. That's what is happening to Barcelona right now. They depend too much on Messi. And it's not a young player per se. It's in his 30s. Right now, Messi should not be running the way he runs. He should be taking his time to play. He should do more of the thinking.
And he had never been a runner.
He's never been a runner. So I don't understand. I think Barcelona, the hierarchy of Barcelona needs to work on their recruitment processes. They need to get new and better players of that standard. If it's possible, bringing back Neymar.
And that brings me to my next question. Do they have a contingency plan for when Messi retires?
I think no. For now, no. They don't have that plan. And I will say this: very few players can actually fit in that Messi role. I think there's no player basically right now that you can sign that can fit in that role. All what you need is that players are close to that will play with him for now. So I think they need to just get better attacking players that will help cushion the pressure on Messi, because the pressure is just too much for the
board they were absolutely in shambles in this past two transfer market, not just this last one, last two transfer market. They've been in shambles. They bought the wrong players. They bought Coutinho wasn't the right fit. Paulinho wasn't the right fit. Griezmann obviously wasn't the right fit. Dembele would have been a right fit. The only problem is not fit. He's never been fit. The guy has been so plagued with injuries that I feel sorry. He now makes him look so old. I was just reading about him, like, he's 22. And he's been having injuries that 102-year-old man would have. It's that bad. I think Kike Setien came out and said, Messi is still the fastest, but take off Samedo. Messi is still the fastest player. And Messi, let me go into a little bit of sports medicine now. The kind of muscle fibers he had, if he runs over a long period of time, he gets himself injured. That's why when he came up newly, he was getting himself injured. Remember the 2006 finals, Champions League final? He got himself injured in semi-finals. He didn't get to play that match against Arsenal. Because so Barcelona and Pep Guardiola arranged a plan for him so he doesn't get to run when it's not necessary. It started from Pep, and that's allowed him to play. When Tata Martino came to Barcelona, he got injured again because they made him run. You understand? So he has to run in sport, run when it's necessary. The entire Barcelona setup knows that. That's why every single coach that comes to the club understands that. And even the Argentine national team, they know that his particular physical analytical makeup doesn't. He has, I think, he's the red type of muscle fiber. If he runs too much, lactic acid accumulates, he gets himself injured. So everybody allows him to play. So for Gatti to say that, it means he doesn't even understand the person he's dealing with.
Yeah, that's the truth. Because again, I remember Zlatan when he came into AC Milan. Zlatan did say that right now he's 38. That they should not be expecting him to run around the pitch. That his tactics is going to be pretty simple. Wait for them to pass the ball to him and shoots from outside the 80-yard box. The fact that Messi is not running around, you cannot deny his contribution to the team performance. And that's the thing. You have a player in the La Liga alone who has contributed 30 goals. I think he has scored 33 goals now in the Spanish La Liga. It is massive for a player. Most that we see, you see forward, you see players who play in front line who don't get you, either if they get you the goals, they don't get you the assists. But it's not the same for Lionel Messi. He gets you both the goals and the assists. So and then you come out and say he isn't a phenomenon anymore. Just like what Timmy stated. I mean, these guys have so raised the bar. I mean, before now, I think before the Messi Ronaldo era,
20 goals per season.
We're managing 18, we're managing 15 back then.
You celebrate the player. But now, if a player gets 18 goals per season, like, I beg now, average striker with this. Why? Because of these guys. They've so raised the bar, and because of that, now we're now judging them based on what they've done. But
When they were in their
20s, you cannot take it away from. I think it will be a very wrong thing for Gatti to say that Messi isn't a phenomenon no longer because he's not running, and that's his reason, because he's not running on the pitch. Is he getting you the goals? Yes. Is he getting you the assists?
Yeah.
So why should I run?
That fear factor, most importantly, that fear factor he brings to any match he plays.
All right. Today there are no Serie A games, but tomorrow we'll see Parma play host to Spal. AC Milan would do battle with Genoa. Sampdoria would take on Verona. Udinese would take on Fiorentina, while Juventus will do battle with Inter Milan. That's going to be coming up by 8:45. And on Monday we'll see Sassuolo do battle with Brescia. But let's talk a little bit about the Italian Serie A, guys. Can Conte's phenomenal man-managing skill lift Inter to win the Serie A this season?
It's a big battle. It's a massive battle. At points in time during the January transfer window, I said Conte is finding a way to boost his squad so they could get the Serie A. But then I don't know how my eyes were blind to a certain Lazio. It was more like that's the truth. After January, you know when scripture says that in seeing they see not. After January, that was when I started seeing Lazio. And I was like, what happened that I haven't been seeing this team? Ciro Immobile.
Yeah.
It's not a 2-horse race anymore in the Italian Serie A. I think at the point in time, Inter Milan were probably just focused on, okay, it's going to be Juventus. It's going to be Juventus. It's a big lie. Right now, I'm seeing Lazio as more of
top of the league already.
Yes.
Yeah, because Inter and Juventus hasn't played yet.
I'm seeing Lazio as more of a threat to Juventus than Inter Milan.
Okay.
Because I mean, Inter Milan, they played in the UEFA Europa League. Well, is that a?
That's a dive.
That's a dive. Well, Inter Milan, they are playing in the UEFA Europa League. And at the point in time, they played, what's that team's name? The Razgrad or something. And I saw that game, and I was not impressed. I was not impressed with the Inter Milan that I saw in that particular game. And these were the guys that played, the same Christian Eriksen, every single person, they played that match. I wasn't impressed. And it just made me realize that it's not enough to get all these players. Okay. It's not enough to get all these players, to get them performing. This is going to be a very huge test between both teams. Lazio are riding on the waves. I think now it's going to be Inter Milan and Juventus trying to catch up with Lazio, because the way those guys are going, they know how to get the goals. Ciro Immobile, last season, the highest goal scorer in the Italian Serie A was not Carrera. How many goals did he get? Was it 26?
26.
Ciro Immobile, we just passed halfway of the season. Immobile has beaten that record already. It just shows you that this guy might get close to, who knows, maybe 40
might get
goals.
To 30. Or he might go over 30.
He's going to go over 30 for sure. He might get up to 40 goals before the end of the season. Lazio plays beautiful football. I do not know how I have not been seeing them. Speaking about Antonio Conte, I think he has his work cut out for him. Yes, they're going to be playing Juventus tomorrow. That was supposed to be played last week, but because of coronavirus fears, it's been moved to this week. It's going to be a big, massive match for both managers if they want to lift the Scudetto. They've got to do all they can. Both Maurizio Sarri, both Antonio Conte. But I must confess, Antonio Conte, yes, he has somehow brought some sort of life back to Inter Milan. I mean, I can't remember the last time I did see Inter Milan contest this keenly for the top spots in the Italian Serie A. It just shows you that what a good manager can bring when he comes in. He brought the players. There's a Lukaku, there's Martinez, there's Christian Eriksen, there's Victor Moses that's also doing well.
Martinez has been there. Martinez has been there.
I'm just talking about the entire team. The entire team. There's a Brozovic as well who plays beautiful football. I think right now Inter Milan, they have all it takes. Like you stated, is man management key. It is on point. But would it be enough? It be enough? Right now, what Antonio Conte needs is more than man management. These players need to play every single game like it is the final of the UEFA Champions League if they want to lift that trophy. Because Lazio are not playing in any way. And I think Juventus and both Inter Milan should beware.
Let me just say this about Lazio quickly. It's been bubbling under. Remember those days in Channel where you watch and you say bubbling under, a song bubbling under. Lazio been bubbling under for the past 2-3 seasons now. Besides the Ciro Immobile that's taken all the shine and the glamour, trust me, they have a compact midfield. former Liverpool player Lucas Leiva, he's the heart and soul of that team. When you talk about a team not wanting to have a soft belly, you have to have Lucas Leiva. He doesn't need anything spectacular. He just
you go.
Put the ball in the back of the net, my brother.
Oh, they did not. What a miss! What a miss from Bournemouth. What
was he thinking? He was dressing.
That should be Callum Wilson.
He was thinking about a female managing him. That is the only reason. That's why
he had already beaten the goalkeeper.
He has no reason. Wait. Let me just say again.
He has no reason not to have.
No, at this point, no. Ake wasn't offside.
Yes.
He wasn't offside.
Ake is ahead of him.
Yes.
Ake is ahead of him. Then see him.
He could have just taken the touch, but then he wanted to. I don't know. He hesitated. One touch too many. Then Ake did square the ball to Callum Wilson and. Okay. Well, we understand now. He actually stepped on the ball while trying to
now I
the back of the net.
Sorry, wasn't thinking
that would have been a brilliant chance for Bournemouth to have equalized for Liverpool.
And it's
right
been
now.
A player that's been like tormented the Liverpool defense all day. Callum Wilson all day he's tormented them. But let me just complete my take on Lazio. I think see their midfield. You have Lucas Leiva, you have Milinko Savic.
Yeah.
Then you have
Sabian,
Milinko Savic is Sabian. You have Luis Alberto, a former Liverpool reject. The boy has been called back to the Spanish national team. Then you are up front. You have Cyril Mebele. You have Joaquin Correa. The former Sevilla player. Defensively, you have he's like 90 years old. Fena Lulic, their captain. Their keeper, Strashkowska, just 23. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best keeper in the Italian.
Yeah.
Then you have an unsung hero in their coach, Simone Inzaghi.
All right, that's all Timmy have got to say. He has given you the breakdown of all you need to know. But in the Bundesliga yesterday, Paderborn, they lost at home to FC Cologne 2-1 today. By 3:30, we'll see Bayer Leverkusen take on Eintracht Frankfurt. Schalke 04 will do battle with Hoffenheim. Hertha Berlin will take on Werder Bremen. Freiburg will do battle with FC Union Berlin. Wolfsburg will do battle with Rasenballsport Leipzig. And by 6:30, Borussia Mönchengladbach will take on Borussia Dortmund. Tomorrow we'll see FC Bayern Munich take on Augsburg, while Mainz 05 will do battle with Fortuna Düsseldorf. In the Ligue 1, the Ligue 1 match between Strasbourg and Paris Saint-Germain today has been called off due to concerns over the spread of coronavirus. The Ligue de Football Professionnels, the LFP, confirmed yesterday the game has been postponed following advice from local authorities. There was no immediate indications of a new date for the game, which is the first in League 1 to have been pulled from the schedule. This coronavirus so far has halted a lot of things. Just about this morning, a Scotland female rugby player was she has already contacted the virus when she went to France and all that. They were supposed to play France, and that game has also been postponed as well due to a player catching the virus. And also in the Dutch league, Ajax assistant coach, the former Liverpool player Poulsen, I've forgotten his first name, he has been told to quarantine himself for the 2 weeks because he was in contact with an ex-Denmark player.
Just say respect himself.
Not just himself and two other technical members.
Together.
4 together. They came in contact with ex-Denmark players. They contacted the virus, and with that, he's been asked to take 2 weeks. That is going to be resuming on Friday. Yeah, he actually did his birthday, 40 years old birthday, so he invited everybody, and so now you see what that has cost.
Yeah.
Now, so many persons this virus has already given us a lot of headache. But now let's look at the Paris Saint-Germain game so far. We've talked a lot about this coronavirus, how it has halted sport generally. But before that, let's talk about yesterday's game where Marseille and Amiens, they played out a 2-2 draw. Today, we told you that the game involving Strasbourg and PSG has been postponed. Angers will take on Nantes today. Dijon will do battle with Toulouse. Mensa up against Nice. Nice will take on Monaco, while Reims will do battle with Brest. Tomorrow, we'll see Saint-Etienne take on Bordeaux. Rennes will do battle with Montpellier, while Lille will do battle with Lyon. Let's go back to the phone lines and get your thoughts on the show this afternoon as the show progresses. Phone lines at 0817 00951 and 0810 951 951. For text message and WhatsApp portal, it's 0701 933 9962. That is 0701 070-933-9962. Nobody has gotten the answer to my question so far. No text message from any of you to tell me how many managers have won the FA Cup since 2000. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
My name is Rodney. I call back.
All right, good afternoon.
Because I want to ask you because you are the anchor person there.
Okay.
When they said Messi is the highest goal scorer, he said it's because it's a weak league. When Barcelona lost to any of the lower teams in La Liga, they said Barcelona is not strong, that Barcelona is not used. It's not the Barcelona they used to know. But when in England now, if maybe Chelsea or Man U or Man City lost, or let me say Liverpool lost to any of the league, I think because it is Premier League.
Okay.
I don't know why they have that mentality because it's Premier League when Liverpool lost to a lower team. And when Barcelona lost to a lower team, they said Barcelona is no longer a strong.
It is Doka that said it.
I don't know. Hold on, let him finish. Are you done? All right. Let me answer your question. Before now in the La Liga, we know that it usually is Real Madrid and Barcelona before Atletico Madrid joined the battle, the race for the title. So if Barcelona, with how they've been playing so far in over how many years now, if I can remember, and they lose to a little side, you would say this is not the Barcelona we used to know, because this season they haven't been brilliant as well, because we know that Barcelona would demolish any team that come across them. But now in the English Premier League, you asked the question, let me finish, right? So in the English Premier League, Liverpool losing to Watford, everybody were clamoring for them to finish as invincibles, to beat Arsenal's record in the league. And people have been saying Liverpool will lose. And whenever they say Liverpool will lose, they will not lose. And they keep saying that they would lose to a very small side. And the small side did it. So that's just it. So I never said anything wrong in what I said.
Let me tell you. Have you followed between Barcelona and Real over the past years?
Yeah.
Tell me how many games Barcelona has gone to Real and win the game in their own ground. What year and which month Barcelona went to Real ground and win? Even when Guardiola was in Barcelona.
So what's your point? What's your point exactly? We saying that if Barcelona loses to a small side.
My point is that Messi is the best player.
I didn't say he wasn't the best player, so don't get me wrong.
No, you said it's a weak league.
I was joking with you. You made a statement by Liverpool. No, he's taking it too seriously.
You tell him that you're joking.
He's taking it too seriously. I never said Messi wasn't a good player.
No, you said he's a weak league.
You made mention of Messi not scoring, scoring even when he isn't the league. I can't remember exactly what you said. And I joked and everybody laughed about it. So I don't see any reason why he's calling to tell me. It is a weak league generally for Barca, for Real Madrid and Barca to have constantly taken the league over. It's a weak league. Everybody knows that. So I don't see any reason why we're taking it. Please, another call.
Spanish league is a week league.
Phone lines are 0817
After the course, we'll do this.
No problem.
0817 00951 and 0810951091. Text messages?
Well, not text messages, but it's full time already in that game between Bournemouth and Liverpool did win them 2-1 right here at Anfield. Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah getting their name on the score sheet as they cruised to yet another 3 points and extended their dominance at the top of the table. Meanwhile, by 4 p.m, some games will be ongoing, and the lineup between the game involving Arsenal and West Ham United is already out, as Arsenal playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. Bernard Leno starting goal for them, and right back they have Socrates. Left back is Bukayo Saka, and in the defense pairing sees David Luiz and Pablo Mari. I think he gets his first Premier League start. While up front, Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka will be playing with Nicolas Pepe, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Mesut Ozil, who will be playing behind the lone striker of the day, Eddie Nketiah. On the bench for Arsenal is Hector Bellerin, Alexandre Lacazette, Reece Nelson, Emiliano Martinez, Joe Willock, Matteo Guendouzi and Gabriel Martinelli. While for West Ham United, they play in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Lucas Fabianski starts in goal for them, and the former defensive midfielder of Aaron Cresswell, Angelo Ogbonna, Issa Diop and Jeremy Ngakia. While up front they have Mark Noble and Declan Rice, and Mikel Antonio, Pablo Fornals, Jared Bowen will be playing just behind the lone striker of the day, Sebastian Haller. While on the bench for West Ham United is Robert Snodgrass, Manuel Lanzini, Felipe Anderson, Pablo Zabaleta, Fabian Balbuena, as well as Thomas Susek and Darren Randolph.
All right, the first game in the Spanish La Liga ended in favor of Mallorca, where they defeated Eibar 2-1. The rest games will be starting by 4 o'clock. That is Atletico Madrid taking on Sevilla, where Barcelona will do battle Real Sociedad. That's by 6:30, and Getafe would take on Celta Vigo for the last game of the day. Phone lines are 0817 00951 and 08109510 Let's get your thoughts on the show. For text message and WhatsApp portal is 0701 933 9962. For Twitter, you can tweet at us at Today FM 951 at Today FM 951, or you can tweet at us at Sports Divo 4. Not forgetting Victor Oriahi at Victor Oriahi. For Priye is at Priye PZ. We'll come back to get your thoughts on the show. Let's go pay some bills, and when we'll come back, we'll go straight to the phone lines.
So, babe, how was your day?
Well, I went cycling, went shopping for groceries, had a quick business meeting, cooked for the week, picked up the kids from school.
You did all these? Just today?
Yep.
How?
I had my Hollandia yogurt. It nourishes and keeps me going all day.
No matter how your day goes, and no matter what you need to get done, grab a pack of Hollandia yogurt. Hollandia yogurt, nourishing goodness to keep you going.
Hollandia.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
All right, welcome back. This is still Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. We've talked a lot about the show. We've talked about Liverpool. The first game in the English Premier League ended in favor of Liverpool, winning 2-1. They won at Anfield over AFC Bournemouth. The rest games will be starting by 4 o'clock. And we'll ask the question, how many managers have won the FA Cup from the year 2000 to 2019? How many managers have won the FA Cup? If you can name them, that's also a plus to you as well. And then we've talked about women. If a woman can coach a men's team, be it national or be it a club side, if a woman can coach the side. But we talked about David Moyes. He suggested that the EFL Cup should be revamped and be named the British Cup. Do you agree with that? Do you think it should be revamped or it should be scrapped? Which are you? The phone lines are 0817 00951 or 08109510 for text, and WhatsApp it's 0701 933 9962. Those are the phone lines and text message portals for you to call. And with that, let's go talk a little bit of transfer today in the on the show, as we at least drive home for the first part of the program to come to an end. Let's head straight to the phone lines. We have a caller on the show. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Any more you're calling us from?
My name is Dieye. I'm calling from Romasi.
All right, go on with your thoughts. Welcome to the show.
Okay, I want to answer the question. You asked how many coaches have won the FA Cup from 2000 to 2020.
Yeah, 2019, because, this season we haven't seen a winner yet.
Okay. Alex Ferguson.
Okay.
For Manchester United. This guy, Jose Mourinho. For Chelsea.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger for Arsenal. Yeah, those are the 3 coaches I can recall that I've won it.
All right. I actually said if you can mention how many coaches have won it from the year 2000 to 2019. Yes, you could argue that Arsene Wenger, he has won it a good number of times, at 6 times. He is the most successful from 2000 to 2019. So how many of them? The guys here said 12. I don't know. Keep your calls coming, keep your text messages coming through, and give us an answer to that particular question. Probably I'll give you the answer. If nobody gets it, I'll give you an answer as before we leave the show. We're back to some transfer rumors making the rounds where Real Madrid are planning a fresh move for Manchester United and Spain goalkeeper David De Gea. Do you guys think he's going to go to Real Madrid this time around?
Real Madrid have a habit of getting goalkeepers from the Premier League.
They've been chasing David De Gea for a long time.
That's the thing. If they want you, they go for you till you succumb. Exactly. That's the
I think
word.
it sends a big message about Courtois.
Yeah.
Remember, they also have Kylian Navas, who I personally think is a top-notch keeper. And Zidane's son is there, although he went on loan. But if they go for him, I think would I take Courtois over Navas over the guy over Navas? No, I won't.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Line.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Your name, where you're calling us from?
I think it's 5 coaches that have won the.
No, from the year 2000 to 2019.
Yes.
5 coaches.
Yes, Alex Ferguson won, and Mourinho, and Wenger, and Man City present coach. What's that his name?
Guardiola?
Yep.
Yeah, Guardiola, yes.
All right, it's not 5 anyway.
5, I said 5.
I said it's not 5. It's not right. That's not your correct answer.
From 2000?
From the year 2000 to 2019.
Oh, I think they're about 7. They're about 7.
All right.
Two other guys joined them.
Ancelotti won. Ancelotti won.
All right.
Zimatari won.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When Chelsea won Champions League, he did the same. He won the FA Cup.
And Benitez won with Liverpool as well.
Benitez won.
I am so enjoying you guys right now. But
Ferguson won.
Keep your calls.
No, Ferguson should win.
Keep your calls coming through.
Wenger should win. That's the only thing he can win.
All right, then. We're still talking transfer this afternoon. Like I said, it's not 5, it's not 7, so keep your answers coming through. If nobody gets it, I'll give you the answer before we run out of the studio. How can I just talk one? You know, allow me to shine. What is the problem? Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
Yeah, doctor.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good afternoon to you, Albert.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
I think I just want to red mark in the winners of the Cup.
All right, go on.
But the little idea I have, and let me try to give names and know about it.
Okay.
Okay. Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Gerard Uli, Jose Mourinho.
Okay.
He just copied that one now.
No.
Let him finish. Yeah, go on.
No, you try to confuse me now.
No, sorry.
It doesn't matter whether you copy or not. As long as you get it, it's cool. So don't worry about it. Go on.
You just made me to forget one now.
We are very sorry. You can call us back when you've gotten your thoughts back.
Just list
all right?
it out in one big paper.
All right, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel.
All right, Emmanuel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys stream online live? I want to see how you guys look on the studio there.
Yeah, you can on YouTube.
Hello?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can on
Just go
YouTube.
to Today FM Live on YouTube, and you're going to be seeing us live on the show.
Who do you want to see, Seth? Say the truth.
It's the lady there because she's reminding me of somebody.
Who is that person?
There's this girl that anchor MTN sports on TV.
You will not be a male coach. You remind me of Osha Raymond.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel. You can get to watch us.
She's the one.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Are you the one?
She's not the one.
Go to Today FM Live and find out if I'm the one.
Don't I'm coaching the female team.
Your voice is reminding me of somebody.
Wow,
I said. That's why I called.
Oh, I'm very glad.
Yeah, you have that. You should have that voice. 1 in a million.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm blushing already. You already made me blush.
Yes, you are. Keep doing what you're doing. Huh? You're the best.
Thank you so much. To me, so jealous.
I am not jealous. I'm afraid of this guy.
You can give your call. Let's go to our message portal.
Because we have quite a number of messages. Let's start from the text message portal.
Okay.
Someone says, please, when City won the league with 19 points, was it a weak league then? Another person said, good afternoon, Liverpool will win by 3-1. Terry from Omokwalu, well, Liverpool won by 2-1. Kingston from Igrita says, imagine a pretty lady hugging me. I will be tempted.
Be laughing.
That's why you know you're a professional footballer.
I will be tempted. At this point, I'll be thinking of how I can approach her, irrespective of her position. Mind you, another player will be Aina at this point. There will be a lot of disagreements in the team. Well, Mr. Rodney says, Doctor, this is racial abuse to we the La Liga supporters for calling it a weak league.
Yes,
please apologize to all.
I apologize.
Well, in Europe from
It's a weak
Theo
league.
says, good day, guys. All those that mock Igalo, Man United, move aside. All those that mock Igalo, Man United move should hide their faces in shame. I wish Igalo more goals, but Man U should always lose.
Lost in number 1.
Well, in the WhatsApp portal, Kennedy from Alakaya says Liverpool has just lost one game in the Premier League this season. Why is every one of you seeing them losing the league? Because we had 3 consecutive losses.
Nobody said
that.
Nobody said
They are
that.
obviously going to win.
They are going to win it.
Same Liverpool, everyone was seen as the greatest this 2019-20 season just because we lost 3 straight matches, which we have 50-50 chances of winning. Everyone is seeing them as losing.
You have more than 50 chances of winning.
Nobody aim for treble still stands and we will get it. Klopp is the greatest manager this season. That's Kennedy from Alakaya. Well,
The best manager this season.
Liverpool
Best, not greatest.
Which treble?
I don't know. Well,
I think it's the Champions League. That is European triple. He's adding the Champions League, the Premier League. They're out of the FA Cup, so there's no even.
They're going out of the Champions League.
Someone is answering your question. Is Ifeanyi Wadike from Messi, and he says, "Good afternoon. I think the managers are Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Harry Redknapp, Pep Guardiola, Rafael Benitez, Luis Van Gaal, Roberto Martinez, Gianluca Vialli, Gerard Houllier, Gus Hiddink, Carlo Ancelotti, and Roberto Mancini. That's 13 managers have won the FA Cup since the year 2000.
Still not complete.
Yeah, it should be 14.
You don't mean it.
What are you guys doing?
Well, the poster from Ogolina says, Dorcas, if a woman coaches a male team, that team will be relegated in the middle of the season.
I said it.
Because of so many distractions. He also said the EFL competition should be scrapped because it is not palatable to watch. Val from Abasis, players will find it extremely difficult to place their trust on the coach. This is because from your adolescent stage up until the adulthood, that's 15 to 25, they are usually faced with serious personal issues that may largely impede their performance on the pitch. Football is not just tactics, it is also a way of life. If a player can't find his coach suitable enough to share an experience, that is where female coaches will find it difficult in motivating their players.
All right, back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Line.
Hello, Doctors and
good afternoon to you. Hello, West.
Yeah, he didn't include that Israelis that helped Chelsea to win Champions League.
Avram Grant.
No.
He didn't win the FA Cup.
He didn't win the FA Cup.
Oh, really?
Yes, he didn't.
Thank
you so much. Though that what's his name again? The person that
his name is, I know he's from Messi Land. Let me
get
his name is Ifeanyi